What is up, guys? It is Jonathan with 2 and I Metal Watch here, and today I've got a new form of content. I am doing my very first interview with the band Ezoterik from here in the Central Valley. It's my first interview, so I'm super stoked to have you guys, and especially you guys, to interview because you guys are an amazing band. I love your music, guys. And every time I be going to these guys' shows, guys, it just be popping off the mosh pits, the breakdowns. The Jay screamings. I love hearing it. And so I just wanted to kind of chop it up with you guys today and ask a few questions about your creative process, how you guys formed as a band. And my first question is, how do you guys come up with the name Ezoteric? So whoever wants to take the lead.
So that won't be me. That's probably gonna be
Okay.
Dylan and
Going.
Jimmy maybe.
All right. Well, before we get into that, I just wanted to thank you for taking your time, to come out here and do this, and pick us to do this for for your first time and everything. We really appreciate you and your kind words and what you do for the community, and yeah,
Of course.
it means so
Thank
much
you.
to us.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I'm honored that this is my first interview, dude. Yeah, I'm over the moon right now. I'm super happy to be here with you guys. So thank you.
Thank you, man.
No, it's definitely nice too. Cause I mean, I've worked on a couple of your guitars, and every time we're in my garage chatting for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever, just
Literally.
shooting the shit kind
And
of thing.
that's how I knew this interview would be good because I've already chatted with
Right.
you and Thomas before. So
Um,
super stoked and super happy to be here.
Yeah.
So thank you guys. I really appreciate it. And the whole purpose of this is to bring the 209, put the 209 on the map in some sense, because I really feel that there's something special happening right now in
Right.
the 209 with heavy metal music and even hardcore music as well. But this is kind of just first of its kind in a sense. I don't see a lot of like 209 interviews. I've seen
Right.
a couple, but wanted to
Yeah.
make something long form.
Right.
Something really
No,
cool.
absolutely.
So people can get to know you. Your fan base could also get to know you guys personally as well.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Ezoteric started as esoteric. We had to change the S and the C to a Z and a K because there was already a.
There was like
There are
5 or
multiple just
6.
brands
Yeah.
with that name.
With just that name.
Like
So-
companies and stuff.
So it was SO like ESO.
Like the normal word esoteric.
Oh, okay.
Because the word esoteric, you want to say it or you want me to do it?
Go, buddy.
Cause I'm down, man. Let's go. But the word esoteric is about a small community with a certain knowledge, which is kind of what the metal community is. You know.
Whoa, okay, blow my mind.
So we were like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But then we were like, well, it can't work out because so many people have this name, and we're like,
so
well,
many people have
like,
it.
but it's a in lyrics and song titles, band names, whatever.
And our other thinking too was, not even just from like a marketing standpoint, but just from like a, making fans and meeting people. We want people to hear our name or see it and just go, oh, let me just look that up real quick.
Yeah.
We wanted it to be easy to find, and when you have so many things with that, we're like, let's change it up a little bit. We were thinking of doing, what was it called?
We were thinking about doing oodlads of the O to or
It's like
whatever
it's like the
called.
O with the 2 dots.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
the reason why we didn't do that though was because it would look like too European, like too much from like UK and stuff.
Yeah, and
What was the name gonna be?
so it was. We
Same
were gonna
name.
change. It was the same name, but we were gonna change the O to. I forget what what's the character called? Ulag
Or something like that.
It's basically like the O with the 2 dots over it.
Looks like a
Um,
face.
Yeah, it looks like a little face almost.
Yeah.
But 2 reasons is one that seemed very European in nature, and we're from Modesto.
Yeah.
That's not
Very
exactly very European.
We're not cosplaying.
Yeah, and then the other thing was it wasn't exactly easy to type out. Nobody's gonna see that and go, oh yeah, let me just quickly hit that on my keyboard kind of thing. So it was kind of again, it was another like ease of finding kind of thing.
And whenever I see those 2 dots, I do think like European, like it's like in another language as well
Right.
too. So that coming out of like a place like Modesto, you know.
Yeah,
You're gonna be like,
be a little off-putting, right?
right. But I really like the kind of how you put that twist on it, like people who listen to heavy metal music, because really this genre is quite. If you guys don't mind passing me the mic that way, okay, awesome. Because this genre is like it's rare to find other people who are also into this genre as well. So that's what I find really interesting on it, the twist that you put on it, Jimmy, and how you kind of interpret it as well. And I appreciate that, you know, because also previously I was also thinking that esoteric, you guys are just referring to like a prehistoric time, because I had Googled what esoteric meant, and it meant like pre or in history, and I do remember it was like something
It was a
having to do with
secret
like
knowledge kind of
kind
thing.
of like a culty type of
Yeah.
sort of like you know, way of thinking of it. So that's a pretty cool way of interpreting it now. That when I see your name, I'll think of it a little bit differently. But thank you for describing it in that way. I really appreciate that.
It was definitely an interesting take, simply because, you know, like, yeah, the definition of esoteric as a whole is, you know, that secret knowledge. It has that, you know, kind of occult implication to it and everything. But we felt like, you know, that in tandem with kind of that idea, you know, normally, not to like reference the, you know, the occult or anything, but typically, you know, things like that, secret knowledge, you have, you know, groups that know and love this thing, this, you know, knowledge, or this idea. And for a lot of metal communities, I feel like that's what it ends up coming to be. You know, we enjoy this music, we enjoy this lifestyle, this, you know, this community, and that's kind of where that ended up coming out. Is, you know, yeah, it's not as much of a like secret knowledge kind of thing, but, you know, we know who we are and we know who our people are.
Yeah.
And
Can I add something?
Of course.
I think the reason I originally suggested the name esoteric was because of what Jay is saying, where a group of people getting together in a time where it seems like everything is not great, right? A lot of social divide and a lot of strife everywhere you look around. But a group of people, all with wildly different lives and beliefs, coming together to create something together, that in itself is esoteric. And the concepts that I believe in, like that ancient occult stuff, I think that shit is sick, and it there's some truth to it. And in metal music, I would argue metal is probably the most emotional, kind of poetic. It's real. It's the realest of the real. And I think that itself is also esoteric in a way. So it's kind of just layers that melt together of this kind of idea where I would also argue too, in a way, it's also not esoteric, because all this community and all this unity, bringing everyone together, is not so exclusive and so sacred and hidden. We are trying to take that hidden kind of stuff that is in the dark, sacred, and bring it to everybody, so everybody can kind of experience it and consume it, and it doesn't have to be this secret thing. But
our big thing is, if you want to look for it, we'll help you find it. You know, if you want it, we want it just as much, and we're not gonna stop you from finding, you know, that community, that people, and whatnot. And it's nice too, like, kind of to bounce off what you were saying with, you know, metal being what it is inherently, being emotional, being real, being raw. That's kind of why I fell in love with this genre, why I essentially started screaming in the first place. You know, it, to me, it was the rawest form of expression, you
the
know.
ultimate catharsis.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
There's something to that I feel like I have always felt no other genres, save for not even just metal, but the alternative genres as a whole, can do very well, which is have that essentially unfiltered, unbridled, just pure raw emotion. There's something about a scream, especially when done in certain ways, that just kind of communicates the genuine nature of somebody's soul. And I feel like that's where I kind of very much felt a connection with metal, and with alternative, with punk, with you know, all of those subgenres.
Because it made you feel something. It's not
Exactly.
about the genre.
Exactly. It's about the feeling. And to me, it's always been about the feeling. You look at my playlists and they bounce around, but they don't bounce around feeling. They bounce around genres, but ultimately the vibe is always going to be the epicenter of that. And I feel like that's kind of why a lot of people tend to be drawn to this.
Would any of you like to add a little bit more about like what heavy metal means to you, or what heavy metal means kind of as a genre?
I mean, they said it pretty good.
Kind of summed it up.
I mean, they definitely summed it up, but I feel like it's just about the art, you know, and
Yeah.
being able to express yourself. And these other people were like, oh, if they can do it, well, I can do it. And then you bring this community of people who make art, and it
Yeah.
just gets bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we look at all the bands that we like, and we're like, we love them. And then you and your buddies or whatever can make a band, or that band across the street or in the next town over, you're making this other movement you don't even know, you know? And you're
Right.
bringing everybody together, and it's
you go to a
esoteric.
show and
Right.
you see it and
You go to a show,
I like that.
You meet up with
gotta-
that band, you're like,
Uh-huh.
this band's sick.
Yep.
We put on a show, people are like, this is sick. That's what you want. It's just a
Yeah.
good experience for everybody.
Yeah. Thank you. And also, Dylan, just bouncing off of what you were saying, when you said, metal is just like one of the most rawest expressions of like, I would say like human emotion and grief and anger. I feel like it just captures the spectrum of like negative emotions so well. And that's one of the reasons why we're so in love with this genre and why it's so amazing. Thomas, did you want to share something?
No.
Okay.
I
I see
wanted
him
to
put the
pet- I wanted to
camera.
pet this
I mean,
thing.
He was like
the
trying
microphone.
so hard to like not
Resist.
pet it and look it up, and I'm looking at him. I'm like, don't do it, don't do it.
Okay, it's
I'm
all
so
right.
sorry.
I can't not touch. The thing is with metal is that the thing is with metal is that like a lot of people it is a very raw expression of grief, anger, and feelings that you can express in ways that you couldn't really do with words. Instead, it's more with poetry. A lot of people though misunderstand metal. They think it's just screaming and just open notes on guitar and just symbol.
They think
But-
it's just chaos and
Yeah.
loudness.
Noise.
But it's
Yeah.
really not. It's a really complex form of art. It shows really the true colors of a person through their instrument, whether it's a voice or whether it's their bass or their drums or even their guitar through their pick and the strings. I mean,
I've seen so much emotion come from a metal band and a violin.
Yeah.
You can do so much with it because
Saxophone.
right.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I mean, music is expression, and when you have such a outwardly loud, open, and raw form of expression like metal, yeah, it sounds abrasive, but one could very much argue that's the point.
It's not anger, it's passion.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I've seen that come out of John's guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Play that clip. And then so absolutely, guys. I love just everything that's being said right now, and I've heard it before, just in other conversations with fellow metalheads. Like metal is such like a genuine, true, in your face genre. It does not lie. It does not hold back, and it's a beautiful thing. It captures anger, captures grief, sadness. I'm not describing the full spectrum of emotions here, but it also to me it's also captured like resolve. It's captured progress. Like sometimes when I listen to some hope as well, right? Like overcoming things as well. When you hear some of these like breakdowns, it's like overcoming, it's like processing the emotion, it's getting through to the other side. And I think that's such a special thing, and it's just like, guys, it's like Sabrina Carpenter could never, guys. Like, let's be honest, and that's the beautiful thing about metal. And I'm not going to be here like just a complete metal like fix and say metal's the only one that can capture this emotion. Obviously other genres of music do it so beautifully, but to the extreme that metal does, like the brutality that metal does, it's such a beautiful thing. And I'm so glad to have had it in my life.
Right.
And we're all like, it's our medicine. Like
Yeah.
we have to
It's
listen.
changed all of our lives.
Yeah.
Music is medicine. Can
Music
I
is
can I
medicine.
make a case for reggae?
Yeah.
Dude, I will
I do.
I will tell you first. Sorry to interrupt. He is probably one of the biggest reggae fans in hiding that I have ever. And he's like not in hiding. Just like you look at him, you're like,
Watches
there's
everything.
no way. There's
Yeah.
no way.
All metalheads, you talk to a metalhead guy, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, I listen to everything. I love all music." Because metal and music, it's about humility, right? So it's not just those negative things; it's the positive things too, overcoming and hope and the struggle. That's just the human experience, the human spirit.
Both sides of the coin every
Um,
time.
But I just wanted to shout out reggae because it's like the opposite spectrum of metal. It's the most real, expressive, raw. It's gospel. They're chanting down all the corruption and oppression and everything that's happened and that we do to each other. That is, all of this stuff is so silly. All of these negative things that are going
It's
on
like
are
why
so
not
silly,
love?
and half of them we invent ourselves. Um, but I don't know, it just ties it all around to music is medicine. And so creating an art and that catharsis, I think that's one of the most important things, if not the most important thing. Look how it brings people together. Look how it makes you move. I mean, if you take everything away, what do you have? Your movement and your breath. And so if we can just all dance in love, I think that, the world would really change right in front of our eyes. I just had to say that.
Yes, thank you for sharing. And music is medicine, but heavy metals like fentanyl. Don't listen too much. Just a little amount, whatever your doctor recommends you, and it'll do the job. Because we want to we want.
There was a quote. There was a quote I actually saw from one of the bands that I've been a fan of for a little bit of time. He was doing a podcast too. It was the vocalist for Thornhill, and what he had a little bit of a hot take that I've kind of thought about since, and it was definitely an interesting take. His take was to write heavy music, you can't just be a fan of heavy music. You need to take influences from other things. And he was talking about, growing up and listening to a lot of like early 2000s pop. He's a really big Gaga fan. and then I heard him talk about that, and then I started listening to their music again, and I was like, wait, holy crap. No, I hear it a lot. Wait a minute. Hold on.
Lady Gaga?
Yeah.
I love Lady Gaga.
Yeah,
She's the
no,
gothic
like
themes
low-key,
and some
me
of the
too, yeah.
songs. It's fucking
I grew
phenomenal.
up
She knows what she's doing.
No,
Yeah, she's good.
yeah.
I love Gaga.
Yeah.
Gaga for
There's
Gaga.
a club going, there's a place for everything in this
Right.
world. Yeah.
There is always a place, but it's interesting because ever since I heard that quote, I've been trying to take inspiration from not heavy songs and artists into my heavier works, and we've come up with some pretty interesting results from that. I feel like I grew up. I have my sister and then my cousin who basically grew up with me. For the longest time, he was like a brother to me, and he's about 10 years older than me. So he moved out, I want to say, when I was around 8. And for like the 5 years prior, all my music taste when I was younger was influenced by him. And it was a lot of Gaga, Rihanna, Sia, Lana Del Rey, a lot of things like that. But then it was also like Paramore, Red Jumpsuit Apparatus. Surprisingly, not as much My Chemical Romance as I thought. But
And
like
he's a big MCR guy.
yeah, things like Linkin Park, Mayday Parade, a lot of those like emo and new metal bands and whatnot. My dad introduced me to like POD, Slipknot, and Breaking Benjamin, that
Oh, the
sort
good
of thing.
stuff.
And so it was kind of this really interesting where at my foundation from the moment I could remember, I was listening to so many different things even country. My mom was a big country fan, and so it was one of those where from my foundation I had so many different influences on music that I really had the option to go in any direction when I started playing, and it just so happened to be that I ended up picking the heaviest out of everyone. I went new metal and then I went further. And I love my new metal roots, but I always end up bouncing like new metal, emo, and punk, and kind of just balancing the three of those.
Yeah. Thank you, man. Thank you for sharing, because I do think that it's a multi-genre thing that sometimes we gotta branch out of our just like metal desires and also like experience other things. Like on the way driving over here, I was listening to Addison Ray. I'm listening to Arca reggaeton music, and you have to capture everything. And Jay, I noticed you're kind of in the sun. I was wondering, are you gonna be okay there?
Probably I.
Okay, you let me know if you need some shade here, just because I see you're in the sun. His
Yeah, he needs
No, you're
sunlight.
good. I
he needs sunlight.
I do.
You know, it's gonna be 4th of July. You know, you
Gotta
get
get that
brace
tan,
yourself, guys.
Let him shine. Could use some more minutes outside.
I can't. I fear.
Just let me know if it starts getting too
Dude,
hot over there.
nah,
bud.
I'm good. Too many hours in my room and a notebook and a blank page with so many erased lyrics and scribbled out whatever. That and edits. Oh, I spend way too much time editing sometimes, and then don't like it, and then go fuck this. I'm moving on.
Guys, thank you for your responses. It's already. I feel like this interview's already gone like in a few cool directions already, and like deep and profound insight from like the genre and just from you guys. So I appreciate that. My next question is, how do you guys start playing music? How do you start playing your instruments? And well, I was gonna ask what your influences were after, but maybe we can intertwine the both, like how you guys got into playing your instrument, and was there like a specific a specific song, specific music video, or live concert, or even a live show that you seen on YouTube or whatever, that kind of sparked in that moment and you knew like, okay, I need to pick up like the drums, I need to pick up the bass, or I need to start screaming. So maybe we could just start it with Dylan and kind of go across if you feel comfortable sharing.
Yeah, sure. It was destiny, man.
There we go.
I don't know. When I growing up had like a keyboard in the house. I have a twin brother, and so he was playing piano at a young age, and messing around with guitar, and playing around on the keyboard was fun. But I was so young, and never took anything seriously until about 11 years old, and then I was like, I want to play an instrument. I want to play an instrument. My parents are like, what? And the drums, and I was like, sure, the drums are cool, right? They're so cool.
What was that? Fuck it.
Yeah, and so I don't know. They just found me a teacher, and I started taking lessons. And then turns out my uncle used to play the drums like way long time ago, and so he handed me down his old kit, so that I was able to set it up in my house. And then I joined a program here in town where bands got together, kids who were learning instruments to learn songs and go play them. I did that for a couple years, and
Was that VMI?
yeah, it was VMI Rocks. And then,
So we met.
but I was always super inconsistent, until I started playing with these guys, and then I started taking it really seriously and wanting to improve. And the biggest part of that is because drums, just like music in itself, is expressive. You're using your whole body, you're using your brain in a million different ways at the same time. Fine motor skills, gross motor skills, all this timing and stuff. And I wanted to do that. I wanted to be, because I grew up with a lot of self-doubt, but being able to be like, oh, I can do that, I think that's fucking awesome. Because now when I sit behind the kit, I'm like, whoa, I am doing that stuff. It's taken a lot to get here. Really proud of all my boys too, really impressed with them. It's taken a long time for them to get where we are. That's sick. But I said it was destiny just because I'm like a very physical person, how I interface with the world. Like, I'm very tactile and hands-on, and I need to mold and shape and do things, but I'm also very in my head. And so that's why I like the drums too, because there's a lot of mental cognitive stuff going on, but then there's a lot of physical, brutal, just I'm gonna fucking smash it. And that's what I like to do. I like to fucking smash it up.
Starting to second guess calling you for when I needed to move.
Yeah.
And the drums, it's just so complex. Like I could never get through the playing with your feet and playing with both hands. Like,
he's
it's just
been
something
trying to
that-
teach me, and that's always where I
I was just like, how?
Dude, the polyrhythms are insane.
dude.
Oh my god.
I see him play polyrhythms, and I just go, I'm good.
Thank you.
Phenomenal. And it's something where it's sometimes in like the heavy genre, it's like the drummer kind of can get overshadowed sometimes by like everything that's kind of going on, like the screaming and the guitars and the bass, and sometimes you don't really always appreciate what the drummer is doing. It's kind of like, to my understanding, is like the spine of the thing in a sense. I could be wrong though.
No,
But
that's what you
No,
hear. We're
yeah.
the heart, the backbeat, the pulse, the
We
foundation,
always follow him.
the feel.
We always follow him.
That's another cool part about the drums too. That's why I like it. It's because like I'm kind of in control. And sorry guys. But yeah, I also too think in like modern like heavy metal music too right now, there's been a shift where all the focus is on the drums, just going as crazy as possible, and that's cool. That's really cool. I want to do stuff like that, but I also really appreciate, you know, like in the times of old, it was about the groove. You had less, so you had to be more creative, and
You have to be intentional.
yeah, I'm not a blaster guy. I like groovy shit, and I like
the-
shit with feel.
Like that,
Yeah,
is that what you're
yeah.
saying?
Anything that
don't-
makes you feel.
We don't do
man.
the triggers at like 270 BPM or anything like that. Like
Yeah.
we don't do the crazy stuff.
Like the as blood runs black type stuff.
Well, they were sick when
Yeah.
when they first started,
Yeah.
but yeah.
But is that what you're saying? Like, is that like the fast stuff, or
It's
I
like
could be
it's
wrong, too.
so I'm referring to like the really fast like blast beats where you just hear the kick going more than anything else. Like it's just like kind of thing. I like, as much as I get that there's a place for that too. For us, I feel like we needed to be a little bit more intentional. You know, it's cool, and you know it's impressive that people can do that, but you know, I feel like there's something with taking it a more slow and methodical approach. Dynamic, you know, making sure things, you know, don't go too crazy for too long, and making sure that like we leave room for people to not only breathe, but for us to breathe, and for our instruments to breathe too.
For people to move with it too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Mozart said the
Feel
music
the energy,
is the
let it
silence.
transfer through them in
Yeah.
a way that they could process it. But I think, yeah, like there's a time and place for everything. Like everything resonates with everybody. Like, you know, everybody likes certain things. I think, you know, if it works for you, works for you. Like bands who could do that, I think the right word is commend them. Like I admire that. Like I think it's awesome. Just for me, it doesn't resonate. Like I like I resonate a lot with new metal because like I could feel that like through my body, and like I don't know, it just like resonates with me. Everyone's different, but yeah, that's just kind of like what we realize is us, you know, like what we like to resonate and work with and experiment with. So yeah.
We've definitely found an appreciation for kind of what Dylan was, you know, quoting with Mozart. You know, Mozart said that music is the silence between everything, you know. And there's something to be said about that. When you have intention and dynamics, it really allows you to hear something or hear a portion of a song and have even the briefest of moments to feel not a hesitation, but the breath of the song coming to you. You feel the intent of it coming between those moments, between those notes. And it really helps, I feel like, drive the moments of sound home, you know? When you have, you know, nothing but volume and chaos and blast beats and, you know, for 3 minutes straight, yeah, you have your gas pedal all the way down, but if your bass line is here, it doesn't feel like here anymore, it just feels like here. So having the ebb and flow is where we've kind of started to feel that coming.
Yeah, now I'm gonna quote Aristotle because life's all about moderation and balance, right?
Yeah.
So
Let's go.
Dude, Dylan be hitting us with quotes at practice all the
everything
time.
is about balance.
Better.
But better, he's a drummer too.
I did want to get a little bit more information
And
out of you,
Samson.
just regards your influences and
Okay.
some of your inspirations.
Shout out my mom for listening to 3 Days Grace and Linkin Park and fucking Justin Timberlake and Breaking Benjamin.
I got Breaking Benjamin tattooed right here.
Hell yeah. Avenged Sevenfold, you're gonna hear that band name probably a lot through this interview, but
We love Avenged.
yeah, we love Avenged Sevenfold. So inspiration wise, the Rev for sure. And then I'd say like Chris Adler from Lamb of God, because they got me into that heavier style of metal with the screaming and all that stuff. COVID hit. I used to not be like a big metalhead. I couldn't do that screaming. COVID, way back 2020, hit the history
Reading
books.
a lot of philosophy at that time.
Yeah, no. Well, I was
He
working
was reading
out
Socrates
at
and
home.
Aristotle every day.
I was quarantined, so I was working out at home in my garage, and then I found the Lamb of God Deluxe Resolution album, and I was just listening to that, going crazy, and then I fell in love, and then
And you also built chest and arms.
I had to get big to look good behind the kit.
No, he is, dude.
So-
I've been hitting him up about a meal plan for the past couple of weeks.
So like Chris Adler, the Rev, Shannon from Godsmack, shout out Godsmack. I used to listen to like Five Finger Death Punch. All those good bands you heard on the radio back in the day.
Did you see the Godsmack show at Welcome to Rockville where he was talking shit about his sound guy?
But that sounds about right.
I was like,
Hey, as a sound guy, you can do that. Just be nice about it, please.
It's like sometimes I deserve it.
Yeah.
oh, he was like, this is out of tune. I can't give you guys this thing if it's
That's
out of
not a
tune."
sound guy issue. That's a guitar
Yeah,
issue.
It was a guitar guy, my bad.
Oh,
Yeah.
It was a guitar guy.
as a guitar tech, be nice to your guitar tech.
I
You'll
can yell
speak
at
for
him
them
too.
too.
Yeah.
He's an all.
Yes. All in one. But yeah, thank you, man, for sharing your influences.
mate,
That's
great.
what I wanted to hear. Is just kind of some of your influences in metal and any other genres. But we've actually heard a little bit of your other influences in reggae. I mean, reggae as well. So I appreciate
Oh yeah,
that.
so it's hard to like find one musician that I like or look up to, because there's so many good artists and so many good drummers in all styles. So I can just see them and appreciate them. I mean, there's drummers out there who are just so insane and so admirable and impressive, in all genres and all different styles, which is cool too, because like Jay said, to write heavy metal music, you can't just listen to heavy metal. To be a drummer of any sort, you have to learn all the different styles, because ethnically and around the world, music could be so complicated and beautiful and written and expressed in different ways. So when you have that in your arsenal, it helps you express yourself better in different ways. I mean, how are you going to express yourself if you only have one tool or one avenue to do so? So you really got to open up your mind,
Right.
and open up your creative process. Kind of going off on different tangents, but yeah, the drums are cool. Here's John.
Dude.
Yeah, drums are cool.
So,
I like
John,
smashing
just wanna
shit.
hear about how you got
Folk
into
smash.
guitar. If there was other instruments that you were into previously before guitar, if you're 100% guitar all the way, and then just some of your musical influences. Like, was there a specific moment where you saw someone just ripping and shredding or soloing, and you were like, I have to do that as well?
Talking to you, man.
Oh. He knows he was talking to him. He was looking at Jimmy for a reason.
But I don't know. I've kind of always been interested in like all different types of music. Like when I was younger, I used to listen to like a lot of EDM, like mainly when I was like little.
Interesting.
And I know it was kind of
that.
yeah, it was kind of
music.
actually yeah, it was.
Youngin.
Remember the age of nightcore.
But yeah, it's kind of weird how wild of a turn that took from like EDM and marshmallow to stuff to like some metal Lamb of God.
Lamb of God.
Huh?
Was it 21 Pilots?
Yeah, 21 Pilots.
Was it when Korn went dubstep? And you were like,
Talk about that.
We don't talk about that era.
It's a bad day.
Bad day.
Hey man.
Tried multiple.
John, I love your guitar playing, bro. I'm so happy I get to just talk to you right
Thank you,
now.
thank
I
you.
really wanted to hear this too.
Yeah, I think I started out like on the piano like for like a week. I learned the piano for a week. I'm like, okay, I'm bored of this. And then
It wasn't hard enough. He's like, it just kind of
Oh,
goes
no,
that
it was
way.
pretty,
And it
it
goes
was pretty hard. I just didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
I was really lazy when I was little.
They're doing different things.
Didn't I give you my old one?
Yeah, you did. You did. I
Yeah.
remember you didn't. I'll save that for. But one day I went to one of this guy's shows when he was first starting out. I'm like, I didn't want to be there at all. My parents dragged me there in the first place. They're like, you gotta support your cousin. And I'm like, okay, okay, God.
He was like fine. He was like 8 and like
Fine.
I was like, it could have been that long ago. He's only
Yeah.
so years old.
Yeah, and then I was like, all right, I'll go. But I went out, I'm like, oh, okay, he's pretty good. I still wasn't really into metal. And then one day it kind of clicked.
You heard your cousin. You were like, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then-
Thank you. I appreciate that. Honesty is the best policy.
You know he's sick.
They're
as
cousins,
fuck.
by the way.
Yeah. we
Oh my god.
But
could've stated that.
anyway, it was a few days, I think, after I went to a show. My dad was doing yard work, and I pulled up in my driveway with my mom and my grandma after going to Walmart, and I was still little, and my dad was playing Master of Puppets on the speaker, and I didn't listen to metal like at all. I didn't like it. I told my dad multiple times, and then the ballad part played of Master of Puppets, and I think that's the farthest I've gotten of it. I'm like, yeah, I kind of like this.
There we go.
And then I told my dad, hey, I like this, and he looked at me funny. He was like, what?
He went bullshit.
I know. No, really, yeah. And then the harmony.
You didn't listen to this for how many years now?
Yeah.
And then the harmony play, I'm like, all right, forget it. I like metal.
Oh wow, the
Yeah.
switch like that with one song.
Pretty much, I know. And then I started listening more to it. I'm like, this is the type of music I'm gonna listen to for the rest of my life.
That is fucking odd. I don't think I ever had a moment where I didn't like metal. I think just growing up on the internet in like 2005, it's just I heard the first Slam of God and I was I'm sold. That's
Yeah.
interesting how some people like they listen to it and they're like,
Yeah.
no, not my thing until you hear a specific like progression or something in a song that like really brings it out of you. Master of Puppets that's the album, right? It
No, I
there-
was talking about the song.
the actual song.
Yeah, the
okay.
actual song.
I'm not the greatest on my Metallica knowledge, but okay, the actual song then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. And then after that, was there like another band or another song that kind of got you into it?
What?
My second brain.
It was him. It was a
lot-
lot of
it
him.
was
It was
a
a lot of
Jimmy.
him.
Yeah,
I kept
he was
saying,
in good
like,
hands.
I was like, bro, this thing's cool. You do it too. And he was like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I got with the same teacher that he used to do, and he did really good.
So when'd you
He
get a
was-
guitar though?
Probably when after our first few shows of going to his shows, I'm like, you know what, I want to do guitar. And my mom was like, are you sure you want to do this? Because I'm not gonna spend a lot of money on this if you don't want to do this. Because she's
Guitar lessons.
she's
are
just
fucking
she's just
expensive.
kind of like that. But
It's true though.
yeah,
It's expensive.
Yeah,
music is
yeah.
expensive. But I had a little guitar,
Yeah.
like a little, like maybe this big.
Yeah.
It
Like
was
a little
funny.
miniature one?
Yeah, it was really miniature.
Acoustic or electric?
Electric. It was like a black one.
Squire Mini.
I still have it. I
That
still
was a
have
Squire
it.
Mini?
It was
Yeah.
a Squire Mini, yeah.
My Squire Mini and my stories.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. I mean, you gotta start it off kind of budget. You don't know.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and I started getting lessons, and
what was the first solo you learned?
the first solo.
Smoke on the water.
I never learned that song actually.
You know it. You don't know you know it, but you know it.
Everybody knows.
Everybody knows it. The first solo I probably ever did was honestly, I'm really intimidated by solos. Honestly, like
Okay.
I don't really think too highly of myself on guitar, so I'm always too afraid to do it, and I feel like that sets me back a lot.
Yeah.
So, and I just pressed something. I don't know what it was.
Oh, so good. I think we're good. Just show me the light on. Is there a
Blue.
light on it? Yeah, I think we're good.
But yeah,
You good,
I learned
man. You got
I learned the hollow solo from Pantera. Pantera was like the band
Yeah.
for me.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah.
wearing a shirt.
Yeah.
and then after him, it was like Dime. It was Dime, and then I got a Razorback guitar for Christmas. I'm
Oh
like,
my
okay, yeah,
god!
that's it.
Wow.
That is a sick
This is my brand.
Okay, I don't know what a Razorback is, but is that like the sharp one? Okay, that was what I was
Yeah. Yeah. That's kind of what inspired me. He calls me a Diamondback Glazer.
No, because hey, you
Hey,
can
it's not-
deny it all you want,
That's
but
funny.
we both know.
It's not glaze if it's true, bro.
No, it can still be glazed if it's true. It can still be glazed if
That
it's
is-
true.
that
Yeah.
is true.
You
But
know
it's
what?
true.
You know what, John? Though it's cool to see him say that he gets nervous before his solos because he's really good. And I remember, like, I actually noticed your soloing in the band before I noticed Jimmy. No offense, no offense. I noticed Jimmy's in the last concert, and I was like, whoa! And I was like showing it to people, and they're like, Dimebag Daryl? Like, who is this guy?
Because that was the first time I was playing that solo, and I was like, wait, I know him. Because I've never seen you before.
Yeah.
Like, or you're all like on the other side.
Mhm, yeah. But I had seen yours because you hold the guitar in a specific way. This guy holds the guitar like this. And it's like,
Yeah, yeah.
what is going on? You know?
Very much the razorback, like showing it off.
Yeah.
kind of.
Yes.
I mean, your guitar has like legs.
Yeah.
It goes down.
And then I got the Dean from Hell.
And it looks so cool, guys. That's why I'm saying you got to check out Ezoterik
just
at
for the guitar.
a town near you, just to see this guy do this and see this guy just do all sorts of amazing. They're like magicians. Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
my inspiration was definitely this guy, Dime, and just everything, pretty much. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing, man. Is there any other influences you'd like to share?
Oh my God.
Lamb of God. Lamb of God. That was the first band I saw here at Aftershock.
Nice.
Aftershock 2022. Yeah, super. So I actually went to go see Bullet for my Valentine, but then they got pulled out, and then I saw Lamb of God instead. So super stoked. Yeah.
Yeah, Lamb of God's sick. Yeah,
Awesome.
it really is.
All right, your turn. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, John.
I've been playing music for really my whole life. Just like I was like really, really young, and I got like this little drum, little bongo thing. You just hit it, you know, whatever, making noise. But in like 5th grade, I think I started playing piano and saxophone. And I have my saxophone, but it's under my bed, and I never touch it. but I was playing piano, and that was pretty cool. And I was playing like Guns N' Roses and like Queen and stuff. But I had a real slow burn because I was like Guns N' Roses and Queen, but then it got more heavy, and I was like, ooh, like Metallica and Pantera, you know? And then it's like modern deathcore and whatever else, anything,
Deathcore.
because like I just love art at the end of the day, you know, like,
Yeah.
and all the bands that we've like talked about, like I love, you know, and it's cool that you can have however many people sit in a room, and you come out of that room with like this song that like so many people are like, this has helped me through a certain time in my life, or it's just, this is a bop and I love running around on the beach or whatever. Just it's whatever it is, you know.
Right,
I just
right.
love being able to feel anything at all from art is super cool, and it's an experience in itself.
Yes.
But-
Even me, as shitty as I am, when I can like kind of play like a part of a song, I'm like,
Mhm.
oh, it's like it feels like you're resurrecting a spirit out
Right,
of the ground.
right.
It's like
That feeling
hey,
too
you're
of
doing it too.
Playing with
It's
other
trippy.
people, and like you're playing, even if it's not your song, you're just jamming a song that you like with your best buddy or whatever. Like that connection, you don't get unless you do it. You know,
Yeah.
it's awesome. Like going over to Dylan's house or whatever and just jamming, like that feeling of just two people making art or whatever. Or when we all get in a room, like when I write by myself, it's, you know, it is what it is. You know, it's me. But when we all get together, it's esoteric. It's different. It's just it's its own thing.
The experience writing individually versus writing with the group is, it's such a drastic change. Like the bottom line is, it always is gonna feel like you, no matter what part you're playing. But when you play with the group, it's not just a I'm doing this, it's a I and we are doing this. And it is a really unique feeling. Like we'll have practice, and I'll go home after, and I'm like, ooh, I had an idea for a song that like I kind of want to try out, and I'll go and I'll go home and I'll sit on my acoustic guitar, and it'll start as like something thrashy or like this or that, and next thing I know, it's a ballad. It's a soft ballad with like open chords on like a nylon strung guitar that's just like barely strummed, that's sung very soft, and it can take this really weird turn, but then I bring it back. And I take the same chords or this or that, and it's not thrash anymore, but it's like some like modern metal kind of mix. It's really interesting to see how things change when you have other musicians with
Yeah.
you.
What's it called when your dog goes crazy and it like runs around like it gets the the zoom.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to get the zoomies out of the dog, and then you just like start playing the art after that.
Yeah. One thing I want to add with like playing with each other, like writing with each other, is like, yeah, like the difference between being on your own and like writing with people or just jamming with people is like we all push each other in different directions, and I love that stuff. Like he has a different idea than what it originally was, and we try it out for a little bit, and like then it just goes into something completely different. Same thing with Dylan, like he's always trying different rhythms and different rides.
We're
Like,
always experimenting. Always.
And I love that shit because like, well, whatever it feels. I don't know, man. Well, that too though. I don't know, man. Whatever. You know.
Y'all never been
I'm
on
no
drugs
drummer,
before?
but but like, cause yeah, sometimes like I sit in my room and just like come up with like a cool riff idea, and then we bring it to like everybody else, and it turns into something completely different in an actual song, and I love it. It's just like, yeah, it's beautiful. But yeah, I love how we push each other. Yeah.
Thank
Just
you,
wanted to
man.
add that.
Thank you for adding that input. And Jimmy, I still want to squeeze a little
Yeah,
bit
yeah,
more
for
out of you
sure, for
while
sure.
I got you in the hot seat.
Yeah.
But
Sidetrack. Yeah.
I know you
Um,
said you started with Queen and
Yeah.
who else?
Yeah. So yeah, like I was saying, it was definitely a slow burn. It was like rock and roll, you know.
Okay. And how
'Cause-
old were you?
Like 12, around
12,
that age.
okay.
But my dad, because my mom and dad are very into like 80s rock and roll and like pop and stuff. So I was listening anything from like Michael Jackson and like early Metallica to like Madonna and whatever, you know, anything that was like on. But Motley Crue released a movie, and I was really young, and they were, you know, on stage, and there was tons of lights and all these props, and it was super cool. And I was like, my dad was like, check this movie out. And I'm like, okay, cool. And I was like, that's sick. I want to do that.
Oh, that's when you got into Motley
Yeah.
Crue.
Well, yeah, because I got in Motley Crue, and then I liked Tommy Lee, and I wanted to be a drummer. And that did not last long. Not at
Leave it
all.
to the guy with the biceps, you know.
Yeah. No, but yeah. But then I saw Guns N' Roses, and I saw Slash with the top hat, and I was like, that's sick. It's
Yeah.
the look, you know. But then I got into Metallica, Pantera. Dimebag's like my favorite guitar player. I mean, you hear it right away, and you're like, oh, that's Dimebag Darrell.
Yeah.
You know.
So you play the drums?
Yeah, I did do that for a little bit, but
How
very
long-
short-lived.
How long is a little bit?
Like,
You're like, or do we have to
n-
rethink
like
this
half
dynamic?
a year. Like half a year.
Oh, I thought it was like 2 weeks.
No. Half a year, and then I was just laying in bed, and I was like doom scrolling or whatever, and I saw Guns N' Roses a clip, and they were playing guitar, and they were just jumping up and down and running around and stuff, and I was like, okay, that's better. I like that. I'd rather do that.
Yeah.
But then I saw what was it? Pantera played in like Moscow, Russia, for like 1.5 million people or something.
Was that the
And-
same concert that Metallica was at?
Yeah, I think
That
they opened
just
for
looks like an
Metallica.
ocean of people.
Yeah, it was so many people. But they're playing and they're just going crazy, and it's like that is awesome. That's kind of where that energy came from, because
Yeah.
we're all tons of energy like the entire time.
Mhm.
So like
Yeah.
Pantera, Slipknot, all that stuff was like just in my brain, like
about Avenged?
jumping up and down. I do love Avenged, yeah, for sure.
All three of us
How
love
could you
Avenged.
Bro, these dudes hate him.
Yeah,
I'm not.
yeah, I'm a
I'm
big
not a
Sinister
biggest
Gates
fan.
fan.
There is
Yeah.
one inspiration I forgot. Avenged. Definitely.
Okay.
I forgot about
Avenged.
them.
AX7. We're gonna go
Yeah.
back. We're gonna edit that. You know.
Put that in. Yes. Put a big arrow. A7X fan.
This is post edit.
Free arrows.
Yeah.
Was there a first song you learned how to play and you were like, oh, I got it in the bag, man. Like, I got it in the bag. Like, you know, and you like.
I think smoke on the water. Honest, I don't know. Playing an open G chord, that was pretty cool.
Open G chord?
Playing an F bar chord for the first time. Every string
Dude,
ring.
hey.
that first moment when you finally get the bar chord down is like, oh my
Dude.
god.
I'm a man.
Bro, my first barcode was Cemetery Gates.
Oh my god.
I think because I definitely come from like a super shredder background, like Steve Vai, like Jason Becker, Joe Satriani and stuff. But I think the first thing that I like had in the bag that was like challenging for me was I played For the Love of God by Steve Vai, which is like one of his biggest songs. But it's so melodic and it makes you feel something, you know. And
Whenever I hear Steve Vai, just
it's so
your
like
fingers just
methodical.
going all over.
But I played that and I was like this is what guitar is like for. You know, it's not just these notes; it's to make you feel something.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So you got the song down?
Yeah. So
Okay, no
the
wonder
funny story.
no wonder how he plays. Like that.
Yeah.
I get
Yeah.
it now.
Yeah,
If Steve Vai is your inspo.
for sure.
It makes sense.
The funny story is, my first show, I was playing at some like restaurant, whatever, you know, with my instructor, who I got with my instructor at around like 14, around that, or like 15, around that age. But my first show at like 15, I was playing, and it was some, you know, it was just first show nerves. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But then my mom was like, if you go and you play at all, I'll get you a Steve Vai guitar. So I was like, okay. So I was like, I don't care. I'm doing whatever. And I played, and I got that guitar, and I was like, well, if I got the guitar, I got to learn the song.
Yeah.
So that took
So
a while.
The
but-
talent's a little natural, but it's a little reward driven
Oh,
as well.
definitely
Just a little
10
bit.
hours a day for
Oh wait, now
Many-
I gotta learn Cowboys from Hell.
yeah, definitely
Oh, the rhythm
Yeah.
sucks on that song.
10 hours a day is a lot, but it was
Yeah.
totally worth it.
Everything makes more sense now.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
get you a little
Many
bit more
times in
now.
my room, trying to get that sweep just perfect.
It's like this
but it's
close
yeah,
to losing your shit.
for real.
Oh my god.
I get so frustrated, but
I
then
see.
you get it, and you're like, you know what? It was worth it.
Yeah.
That's one of the interesting things of learning an instrument is because like
Definitely.
when you always have to like strive to push that boundary just a little bit more.
You always gotta push yourself.
Yeah, but
And
it's
that's what
like
you're saying, like how we all push each other.
right.
But it's also you have to do that like.
You have to do it
within
yourself, yeah. Well, and my favorite thing, you know, because I even though I'm a vocalist, I've been playing guitar for far longer than I've been a vocalist, and it's really funny because I always think to like, you know, when I was playing guitar in bands and oh my fucking god, dude, I'd be in my room and I'd be pissed. Oh, I'd be furious.
Dude, that's why I don't like
Oh
this.
my god! But
Headache,
but,
headache,
yeah,
headache.
Yeah, but like to me, it was one of those where like the moment that I like finally made that bit of progress, it was like this like, oh my god,
The heavens.
right,
Like
exactly.
Such a hit of dopamine.
No, literally,
Such a
dude,
hit,
it's like a
man.
fucking drug.
Because you,
Yeah.
It's like a
you're
drug.
climbing this mountain,
Uh-huh.
you finally get to the top, and you look at that view, and you're like,
Yeah.
this is
Holy fuck.
And for me, it's even one of those where like, cause I mean, I know a lot of people tend to do this, but you know, when they're learning a portion that they're having trouble with, they chunk it up, right? And they'll normally have the chunk that's the most difficult, and they'll have a couple difficult chunks, and I'll do it like that. And when I master that one chunk or one of the chunks that's hard, oh my god, I'm like, okay,
yeah.
okay, we're one step closer. We're almost there, and then my favorite thing is when I go to stitch it all together, and then it all goes to shit again, and I'm just like, fuck!
Right.
And I'm like, we're back to
yeah,
square
I
one.
know.
The big fat chunk.
Yeah.
I started copying your learning style a little bit, where you just like do one thing, you spend like an hour on it, mastering.
Literally, sometimes you have to do the same 2 notes, 3 notes, just fucking 50 times. Or more.
Times.
I mean, honestly,
It's
for me,
beautiful.
the biggest part is not even. It's playing the notes right, but it's also the transitions between those chunks are like the biggest part.
Yeah.
Of like, yeah,
That's
okay, this section's great, but it's like getting in between that last note and the first note, the next part.
It's the timing.
Yeah, the
it's
timing,
It's
it's-
moving your
yeah.
hand over. It's so funny because I think about it like growing up. Like I swear my mom was sick of my shit. I swear she was so tired of hearing the same few
Scales over and
sections
over again.
over and over. And now it's funny because now like I spend a lot of time at my girlfriend's place, and it's so funny because I like, you know, I just started like practicing over there recently, and it's so funny because I can see the exact same face showing up on her, like from her too. And like I know she won't say anything because like, you know, like
That's
I'm-
what love looks like.
no, literally, yeah. No, it's dealing with the bullshit that we're both sick of, but only one of us doesn't have a choice in putting up with it. I have a show coming up. I need to get it down.
Dylan,
True love is dating a drummer.
that is very true, which segues me back because I wanted to hear your perspective on this as a drummer. Obviously, we're talking about instruments that are shaped like this. You're playing the drums. Can you give us a little perspective on kind of what that process looks like when you're trying to get the whole song together or just learning a song, and they describe a little bit of like how dopaminergic it is when you like finally get that one piece. I'm curious, are you also kind of levitating like a guitar player when you get that piece of your song, or when you learn?
Do I get high from playing
we
a part
know
good?
you do, or else you wouldn't be here.
Yeah, that's why I'm doing this, is because it's fulfilling as fuck.
Yeah.
When we first got together, and I still didn't know what I was doing, playing like Enter Sandman.
Oh God.
Just
Don't remind me, man.
I'm so glad I wasn't there for that, just from those reactions alone.
yeah, but just the natural high of playing the most basic of things, of just something complete. Yeah, I love it. Were you asking me like more like kind of like my writing process, like getting a part down and stuff?
Like learning how to play a song on drums. Like I've always been curious kind of how that is, because when you're playing the guitar trying to learn a solo, you got this piece, you got that piece, and your finger got to go there and it slides up and down the neck. But for drums, like how does that process look like when you're trying to learn a song? And is there parts where, like we were talking about, like chunking the song, and then like putting it all together, and then that can be another headache in and of itself. Always will
Yeah.
be. But like, is it also the same process for drums? Like, are because you guys are the tempo and the heartbeat of it. So is it you also like chunk as you're learning songs as well?
Definitely. It starts really slow, as it would with guitar, and just repetition. You start really, really slow. You do it over and over and over, and then you get a little bit faster. Do it over and over and over, a little bit faster, until you get that smooth. And then you do that to, I guess, the different parts, and then when you try to stitch it together, it is a whole different beast, because then you're going from one rhythm right into another. Instantly, it has to, with the drums, everything almost has to be autonomous. It has to be at the point where you can kind of just flow and turn your brain off. So that's what the practice looks like. You're sitting and you're hammering it in until it becomes a part of really your subconscious. And if it's not at that point, personally, I probably can't do it. The transitions, it's tough. It already is demanding on its own to play that. So when you're like totally zoned out, tongue is sticking out of your face because you're so locked into getting it right. But then when you do get it right, it feels amazing. And then you're like, wait, I played that? I did that? I didn't even get to hear it because I was so locked in, so focused. I'm like, oh, wait, I wish I could have heard what I was playing. I wish I could have heard what we sounded like. But it's weird because it's like
That's
a
why
different job.
209 Metal Watch is there recording everything, putting it together.
Shout out.
Shout out. Deserves it. That's a very funny thing I want to add on to. Like, so many times when we're jamming, making a new song, he comes up with really cool feels and like experiments with hella cool things. And a lot of us, we recognize when we're playing, we look at him like fucking get a smile on our face, or like look at him like fucking nodding.
And then I'll go, all right, what the fuck did I do?
Yeah.
It's like, I don't remember anything I did.
Wow, that's
Well,
trippy.
and like to kind of piggyback a little bit off of that too, like something I've seen and that I like understand when I started trying to learn drums too was how much as a drummer you have to almost fight and retrain muscle memory, which is a really interesting
It's a lot
thing.
of unlearning. It's
It's
a lot of technique.
And like, because for me, like my issue with whenever I like set out a kit and I try and I struggle, because I tend to struggle a lot on a drum kit, is the desynchronization of what my feet are doing and what my hands
Oh
are
yeah,
doing.
limb independence.
It's the limb independency, and so that's where having that muscle memory and being able and apt to retrain it into making sure that you set a correct muscle memory flow, that sort of thing.
Drums make you smarter.
Yeah, no, they make you so much more coordinated
you
because you
gigabrain.
have to be.
Fun fact, actually, more like people that are a little bit more higher intelligence than others actually like metal more.
So that
You didn't just read that on like a Tumblr post. Right?
no, he probably did.
No. But it's because like
I think we all know that.
it's because like the rhythms are so complex on some things.
Yeah.
Did you read that BuzzFeed quiz? And that's where that's.
I was buzzed while I was
We're not gonna tell y'all his
Oh
age.
my god.
Wait, so you're telling me that metalheads have higher IQ than the Sabrina Carpenter fangirls?
Don't.
Oh, we're not gonna go there. We're not gonna go there.
there.
A correlation.
Okay.
Okay.
It can be a correlation.
Don't go there.
Listen.
Say Taylor Swift.
I
the
don't-
Swifties will go after
I don't want our very first interview to be making enemies. All right, those are not our words.
Just saying, hey, we
They're
love
my
art, by
words.
the
We
way.
love all art,
We love all.
all fans of art.
Yeah.
I just
Hey,
want
I'll
y'all.
jam to some Sabrina Carpenter. every
I've
now and then.
seen Sabrina Carpenter live and I cried. So that's all I'm gonna say. Thomas, I want to hear you next.
Oh, okay.
How do you get into the bass, man? Your influences. Was there a song that you learned that really just like drove it all in for you, or was it kind of like a progression where you were kind of just introduced to some music very early on and then you found your way?
It was very like my music taste was a very gradual progression. All started like thanks to my mom as well. I remember just as a kid always sitting in her car and listening to like so many different CDs of my first band ever really listening to or like the first music I remember listening to were the Beatles. We had like this Best of the Beatles album called like One, and it has like 28 tracks on there, and I love the shit out of it, and that just like got me so into music. And she also pushed me and my brother to like do music. She wanted us to do like a healthy hobby as a kid. Like she was like, oh, go play soccer, let's go try this, let's go do that. She wanted like something positive in our lives, something out like extra to do, to let our emotions or energy out. We were rambunctious kids. We're twins, so we drove her crazy. But yeah, like she got me to start playing guitar when I was 5 or 6.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And I didn't want to do it
Thing's
at
bigger
first.
than you.
Yeah. And I didn't want to do it. Like she kind of forced me to, and I ended up loving it very quickly. She even made me like a little cardboard guitar out of like rubber bands and everything too, that like I painted on and stuff and took around with me to like stores while she shopped. And
Just to give them something to distract themselves with.
yeah.
It was the mini strat. The mini strat.
Yeah.
Prototype.
the prototype mini strap.
Yeah. And yeah, like so it was very interesting. At first the music program I was I'm not even gonna get into that, but
Get into it. We did VMI together.
well, no, even before that, dude, I was with like some organization called Suzuki, and I think they're really good at teaching young kids to like play music.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and it's like, I think it's a worldwide or nationwide thing. I don't know.
As far as I'm aware, because I remember when I was working with the school district, I had learned a little bit about it. It's essentially a music curriculum.
Yeah.
So some schools and some independent music instructors kind of thing, they essentially use that curriculum, and it's supposed to be. Again, this is what I've learned secondhand, so this is probably not like don't take my word as law. But essentially, it's supposed to be easier for younger students and younger kids to have an entryway into it. It's supposed to be that. The level of success it is, I have heard mixed things. But yeah, Suzuki it's just a global curriculum essentially.
Yeah, and so I started on that, and I was like 5 or 6, and it was like you're learning rhythms by singing songs along with it, like watermelon, watermelon, water. I'm like, it was so so stupid. I was like, I don't want to do this. But then I got another teacher, and he was all just like, hey, what song do you want to learn? And I wanted to learn Day Tripper from the Beatles, and yeah, that was the first song I learned, or Let It Be, things like that. And as a kid, like when I was 7 or 8, I learned the whole song of like Stairway to Heaven. I was always playing acoustic and learning like different, like, I don't know, I'm Latino, I'm from Argentina, so I was learning a lot of like different like strumming rhythms and things like that. That was like my favorite thing. Then eventually, like when I was in like middle school, I joined VMI, and that's how I met Dylan. We were in a band called Laundry Detergent, and
Wow.
Wait a minute. Sorry.
Wait a minute.
But we called it that because our friends wanted to call it Bleach, but then Darren, the teacher, he was like, no, that's too hardcore. You guys are hella young. And
That's too hardcore.
Yeah, so we changed it to the Laundry Detergent.
Was that still
Same,
when
same.
Darren was in that aviation warehouse or whatever?
Even before then, he was in Gottschalks.
Oh, oh shit! Yeah,
Yeah.
that was.
Core
Oh my
memories.
god, yeah.
So
Yeah.
I actually joined VMI super reluctantly because my cousin was doing it too, and he was a guitarist, doing the band stuff. So I replaced their old drummer
Mhm.
when Tomas and his twin brother were in it, and so that's what laundry detergent was.
Yeah, yeah, it was a great band. I was the lead guitarist on that band. It was crazy. We had like 3 guitars.
I remember those
And then
days, my
also,
day.
then like a friend of mine wanted to join in, so then we had 4 guitars total. And then my brother was
4?
on. Yes.
Yeah.
My brother was on
What
keys.
is this?
Dylan was
Slipknot?
on drums, and then Darren's son was our bass player / singer, and he was like
Oh,
8, Kale,
Kale,
and he
yeah.
was like a little like very young. He was like 8, and he was like so adorable with a giant bass on him, and like screaming into the mic.
Well, because I don't think Darren at that point had any mini basses. He only had the full size one. So he's giving his 8-year-old this
Yeah.
full size bass, can barely reach the first fret.
Yeah, we sucked.
Yeah.
Y'all look like a marching band going up in there then. It's a lot of-
Yeah,
a
we're
lot of
just
members.
standing there all awkward,
Yeah.
playing a solo. We would do
you
Avenged Sevenfold and a
expect?
bunch of whatever. Yeah, it was funny.
What
Some
do
pop
you
music we did.
expect? There we go.
bad.
Nice
Yeah.
and comfy
Chilling.
before we get to you, Jay. Nice and
But-
comfy.
Shine down too.
Shine Down,
Shine down.
fucking Imagine Dragons. It was so random. Whatever we wanted to do.
So,
Yeah.
what was your first taste of metal, and
Oh.
what kind of got you into that genre?
So yeah, a lot of my music taste was gradual. It was like Beatles and then Queen.
Hardcore.
Yeah,
Yeah, sounds familiar.
Mudvayne. no,
Bohemian Rhapsody on bass.
Yeah.
Queen and Mudvayne's a
Yeah.
pretty good jump.
So yeah, the Queen, like Bob Marley, Men at Work, a bunch of random stuff my mom would listen to, and then like I finally started getting to my own tastes, and like I don't know, Police, and then like Red Hot Chili Peppers was like my first like favorite band, and they're still one of my favorite bands to this day. Very inspirational. Flea is one of my biggest inspirations. John Frusciante, Josh Klinghoffer, they're amazing. Yeah, and the way they play together, like bass and guitar, are one of my biggest inspirations ever. I love how they jam, and I love how Flea moves. That's one of my other like inspirations for my movement. And then from there,
Is
I
he
got
the naked one?
yeah. Well, they were all naked. They were all naked at one point, but then he's the one that kind
He's
of
like the main naked one?
he takes his shirt off.
So they're both
Oh,
always
yeah.
shirtless.
Huh?
Lee and Tommy
Oh, okay.
always shirtless.
Yeah.
I still remember when I was telling one of my friends, I was talking about, because like they were asking about the CDs or something at our show, and I was like, yeah, you know, me and Tommy had worked on this together, and my friend was like, oh, which one's Tommy again? I'm like, the guitarist, and she doesn't know music, or sorry, the bassist. She doesn't know instruments like by visuals, whatnot. She's like, and I'm like the one with the really chiseled jawline and the glasses, and she's just like, and I go, the one that takes his shirt off. She goes, oh, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yes, just remember their performance at Woodstock, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Woodstock '99.
Yeah.
Just full on naked, you could see the
Yeah.
junk and everything.
Yep.
You know, I was like, wow.
Wow,
The
yeah.
90s,
Yeah.
Woodstock,
right?
What a time.
What a time.
So, okay, so we're still not even getting
not even
into
there
the
yet.
metal
no,
stuff.
yeah, because then yeah, it was a lot of like same with Jimmy, like rock and roll,
Yeah.
like 80s rock, classic rock, experimental pop from the 80s, 90s. Michael Jackson, he was
This guy's
yeah.
naming every genre,
Yeah, everything but metal.
Oh, and
You
Yeah.
sure you belong here?
Yeah, VMI then.
Avenged Sevenfold
Yeah, we
and
did
Shine Down
Avenged
Seven.
Sevenfold, but I wasn't a fan of it really. I didn't really like it. I was enjoying like the technical stuff on guitar, like playing that and pushing myself on that, but I wasn't really a big fan. Shine Down, but yeah, by then I was in middle school, and by then I started getting into like hard rock. Royal Blood is one of my favorite like influences from that time, because like it's just a bass player and a drummer, but if you listen to it, it sounds like a guitar and a drummer, and they go crazy. They're a really good band from Europe. I really recommend them for sure.
Royal Blood.
Yes. They inspired me into using a lot of like distortion and like effects on my board to sound like to get where I kind of started sounding like on my bass. But now I'm trying to figure out my tone again. But yeah, I got into like harder rock of like Shine Down, 3 Days Grace, and then I started getting into new metal of stuff like that. So it was like my angsty like preteen years where I got into that.
3 days. Favorite 3 Days Grace song.
I don't know. It's so hard. It's been a while, but
Jimmy, I seen you moving. I'm gonna ask you next, guys. This is the band that got me into this whole fucking thing. So
3 Days Grace.
Yep.
Me too, man.
That was my first favorite band.
What's your favorite song?
Oh, good God. We'll
See, it's
do
not so
the
easy
Time
when
of
it's
Dying.
turned on
Time
you.
of Dying. I'll just go with Time of Dying, but I know it's not my favorite song though. But it's a good one.
yeah, I can't really pick one at the moment.
It's
for me.
hard, guys. It's hard.
Fun favorites.
Yeah.
I know.
It's
I know.
experience.
Yeah,
Throwing
there's
you
so
a
many.
hard one. They were the first band I ever downloaded music off the internet in 2006 or 7. LimeWire. Anyone ever
Yeah.
downloaded
Yeah.
off of LimeWire? Yeah, LimeWire.
God,
It's
I
like
remember being super.
precisely. You know, we were gonna protect that information, but you docked yourself.
I remember being like really little because like I said, I was young. I was barely like 5 at that time or so, and but because my cousin, who was he's 10 years and 6 days older than me, so he was ripping off LimeWire, finding unreleased demos on MySpace, and we would listen. He'd burn CDs, and we listened to it in the car.
Burn
Uh-huh.
CDs.
Well, right. Well, and honestly, a lot of it was just because at the time, like, we didn't have money to go get CDs. Like, my parents would, but they would just pick whatever they wanted, and they're not gonna buy a CD for a 5-year-old who didn't really know what he wanted in music yet, kind of thing. So, my cousin, it was me, my cousin, and my sister. It was the 3 of us. And yeah, dude, we would sit there on his old crappy laptop. God, I remember that thing. It was terrible. Even like for that day's standard, it was terrible. He saved up I don't even know how long, like, just to get that, and we would rip discs as much as we could. I remember we had a version of Diary of Jane from Breaking Benjamin, an acoustic version that to this day I have trouble finding the exact version. And he found it. They released it on MySpace, but nowhere else.
That's so scary.
And so it was one of those.
So you never
where-
know where the MP3 file.
Yeah,
is.
exactly. And so I remember, I think I ended up ripping it onto an old computer because I found our old case of our old glove box full of CDs, and I got all of the CDs that my cousin would burn, and I ripped them all into my computer, and then the computer broke. And that was before I learned how to fix computers.
That's so
And I don't
sad.
know where the
we all
CDs
have
are.
one of those stories though, where the computer dies and there goes all our memories from
Yep.
like who knows what ages.
We still have the
Minecraft
memories.
world.
We just don't have the proof to be like, see, I told you.
Yeah. Alrighty, Thomas. Sorry, I cut you off, but
Oh yeah.
any other metal influences in your bass playing?
Yeah, and then I got super into Deftones. I would say they're one of my favorite like new metal bands or shoegaze. I really love their shit. How experimental they get, and the energy they kind of give off. But Korn, yeah, just like I love the classic new metal stuff of like System of a Down. Like I really love the groove that they have, and like I always want to try and like implement that like ideology into our music. I feel like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I really enjoy that, but
Fieldy.
yeah.
I think we're all inspired by new metal.
Yeah,
Some way at
yeah.
least.
And then I would say, just like we were talking about earlier, where I think as an artist, like the best thing you could do is get influence from anywhere else, or like just like appreciate art as a whole. Like I listen to a lot of classical music, a lot of like musical scores. Like my favorites are like Oppenheimer and like the new Batman score. And then a lot of like Radiohead is like my all-time favorite band, and all the side projects that they do. And that influences me a lot. Same thing with Sigur Rós with how they structure their songs. I would say that's all my influences. Thom Yorke and Johnny Greenwood on how they move and feel the music. I feel like when we're on stage, like I really do appreciate all of our stage presence, and I feel like that's an important thing as a band. Like you're there to entertain people. You're there to like, cause music is one thing, and like it's a very important thing of like what you're doing on there. But like sometimes, especially with metal, like not everyone is a fan of it, or not everyone is like gonna fully appreciate it already. Like some people there are just there because they wanna appreciate a live show locally and things like that, and like the movement, the energy that like people could see how you feel the music, and that how much it means to you by how you move, how you like, yeah. And so like
We have fans that come to shows not necessarily because they like metal that much, but just because they enjoy the show. They enjoy the energy that we give, and I think that's something that I feel like we do a really
The
good
energy
job
that you're giving, Jay, because you're telling them to run into one another and beat each other up.
of. No, I just
With
I
bags on there.
no, I just love rage baiting, dude. I'm gonna be so honest. I love rage baiting a crowd, like, into getting them to be louder. Because it's funny because I just don't stop, and then it happens, and it's
Kinda
great.
given.
Yeah.
Rage bait each other all the time.
Yeah.
No, you
you-
rage bait me, and then I just get fed up
when
with
we're,
it.
And then you start rage baiting me.
when we're rehearsing, they go at it sometimes.
Oh my
and
god.
It's just so funny.
Ugh.
And this is where the rage in your music kind of shines through, you know? Guys, but I kid you not, Jay really has like a doctorate degree understanding of being like a stage hype front man,
Hype
and he's just getting everybody out, like, and sometimes even like early, like and when you guys are playing like a show lineup, you'll show up even with the bands before, and you'll get people hyped up
Yeah.
too. So I just appreciate that energy in
Yeah.
Modesto in the 209 too. It just makes it so much more fun.
Right.
Like you're
I've
you're fucking crazy.
yeah,
You're fucking
I
crazy, man.
I've always felt like, and you know, playing live shows, I learned very quickly, like, especially at the you know, at levels that we're at now, you know, when you're writing music, when you're still, you know, early in a band, you know, doesn't even like the first handful of years, you know, like, it doesn't even matter then, even at like the full scale professional level, an audience isn't going to give you anything for free. That's something I learned very quickly, you know, like they're there to see you perform, and if you're not there to put on a performance, then they're just gonna sit there and watch, and they're gonna get their money's worth for the tickets, and then they're gonna go home. And to me, I've never been the biggest fan of that. I remember growing up, and you know, my sister going to, you know, her couple concerts, and you know, paying a bunch of money for these nosebleed tickets, and she got to be in the same room as her favorite artist, and you know, see all this, you know, these effects and these pyrotechnics and these this and that, whatever. But I don't know. To me, I always felt like when the show has a personal touch, when it's more intimate, when it's smaller, when you can see the artist and you can get close to them and like sing with them. Yeah, you can't hear them for shit. Yeah, I can't hear myself for shit, but that's okay, you know? It's one of those where that's where the show part of it really makes me feel almost at home. And I learned the best way to get that feeling is to make the crowd feel that too.
The crowd's part of the show, yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
We're all part of it.
The
yeah.
crowd is
It's
to
the whole experience.
exactly. To me, the crowd is just as much, if not more, of the show than we are. You know, we're here to. Yeah, we're
We're
here.
the sixth
yeah.
member of the band. You hear that, guys? You're the sixth.
Our job is to help facilitate that. My job as a frontman is to help channel that and to help start that. You know, I've been to shows where, you know, I get there and at first I'm like, oh, like, do I really want to, you know, go crazy? Do I really want to, you know, just like say fuck it and just do everything tonight? And I sit there and I'm like, do I really want to do that? But then I think about it when I go on stage, and I think about that feeling. I think of how many people are there who paid the ticket and who are like, all right, do I want to risk being sore in the morning? Do I want to get all sweaty? Do I want to jump around?
Sore, you failed. Don't come to our
Yes.
show if you're not gonna break your fucking neck.
Your neck has to be sore in the morning.
Yeah, and you know,
Absolutely.
for me, it's this like, I know that feel that almost hesitation, and I kind of like to kind of push that, you know. And for me, it's like, hey, forget about that. I rage bait people in that sense because I want them to get excited. You know, I want them to forego that. You know, do I really want to be sore after spending, you know, $10-15 on a show, whatever? And I'm like, hey, you're at a show. Like, let's be in the room and let's live this night together.
Yeah.
Supposed
Hey,
to have a
you-
good time.
Exactly.
You can be a part of this too. You're not
Exactly.
just watching me. Come be a part
Right.
of it.
No, and we love that. Like, we have people come up on stage with us, or like come and like he hands off the mic to people and they sing along with us, and that's beautiful. People, like last show in Modesto, we had people like play our basses or guitars and things like that.
Bringing little kids up.
Yeah, little kids come up and like rock out. Like some of us, we like throwing ourselves in the mosh, and it's just like like it's a beautiful experience, like having people mosh with us. and,
Thomas
like,
will start a circle pit. I've been in there with Thomas. Yep.
yeah, it's like we're all part of this experience together, and it's every experience is its own thing. It's like a one lived experience that can't really be recreated the same. Like, it's beautiful, and
Definitely a moment in time.
Yeah.
No two shows are the same.
No.
But it should be.
Right.
Every show should be different.
Yeah, and that's something that I definitely try to capitalize on. You know, like I remember my first like maybe one or two concerts I've ever been to. The first one was I saw, God, I want to say I was maybe in like 7th, 8th grade. My very first concert I ever went to was, I already know none of you guys are going to know who they are, Two Door Cinema Club.
Oh, I love them.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
Oh, holy shit. So
I love
I,
indie.
I saw them on their what was the name of the album? It was one with the cat on the album cover. It was with the what's that album called? No. Anyway,
I don't remember their albums,
but
I like them.
I saw them in Oakland, and it was with my cousin. And I remember, I forget exactly what the name of the theater was. Again, my very first concert, didn't really know, but I remember the way the venue was set up was there was different like levels to the floor, and my cousin had been there before, so he was like, I know exactly what spot we're gonna go to. It's gonna be not like the floor. It's gonna be the next step up, and if you post right in the center, he goes, I shit you not, we're gonna be 10-15 feet away from the front man, and we're gonna be on the same level of him, like making eye contact. And I was like, oh, bet. Oh, hell yeah. So I go, and I remember, my sisters, like taking pictures and videos, and my mom's like, they're just kind of worried about me because I was little. It was my first concert, and it was the floor, right? And I remember just sitting there, and I was like, I could record, but I don't want to. Like, I want to be in this moment. Like, I want to feel this night because, like, I've been listening to this album on repeat for the past 2 months. Like, I'm exactly where I want to be. Yeah. And for me, it was like when I play a show, I want that. I want people to feel like this is where they want to be in that night. I want people to get excited for it.
It should be memorable.
It should
Memorable,
be.
yes.
Yes, it should always
And
be
they
memorable.
are. They are. Trust me, guys. And the community in Modesto knows how memorable these shows are.
And we appreciate that. And it's one of those where, I've played in music enough to know, the same bit can get stale. And that's why I always try to shake it up. I'll always do my tried and true, a little bit of rage bait of like, hey, like, I can't hear you. I'm going deaf. I'm a sound guy. Like, I can't hear you. I can hear you. But it's more for them than it is for me. I want them to feel excited. I want them to feel not necessarily obligated, but like
Free to join
and encouraged to, because at the end of the day, we're here to have a good night. We're here to have a good show. And if I gotta be just a little bit of obnoxious once or twice to help get people to kind of
Maybe
feel,
like 15 times.
I've done it. I'm not gonna lie. I have let a crowd sit there and wait until they gave me what I wanted. And I remember the event organizer was looking at me from the side of the stage like this. And I just looked back at him and I'm like, hey, you should have promoted better. Like, I don't know what you wanted me to tell you, bro. Like, that's your job, homeboy.
Right.
A little sad now, actually. When we say we can't hear you, most of the time we're actually not joking. We literally cannot hear.
It's so hard to hear anything.
It's incredibly hard to hear.
Is it because you just hear? Are you hearing yourself, or is it?
Mainly myself and
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just.
It's mainly just
Thanks,
symbols.
Dylan.
It's a lot of symbols.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he really goes crazy on those symbols. Yeah.
I want to give myself props. I have been the 6th member of your band. When you guys do the blind cover by Korn,
Yeah.
I've gone on stage and I've done the deeper and deeper and deeper as I dream to live a life that's
Yeah.
Dude, I fucking lose my shit when you guys do that cover, and that's really what fucking that first time I went out to go see you guys. That song
Right.
is my favorite song to
Yeah.
rap, and
Right.
it is my favorite song to cover.
And we do that song for our audience. We do that for our 6th member, and really what it was
Our
was
6th member.
well, and like genuinely, I remember
And you brought up 2 guys, so I don't know if I was the 6th or the 7th, but I could have been either or.
but
As a whole.
yeah,
Yes, it's
and
entity.
like we do that song mainly for our fan base. I remember the first time that I like gave the mic off. I'm gonna be so honest. My voice was kind of having a rough day, like a really rough day, and so I just kind of like I saw enough people were kind of crowding up. I was like, you know what? Let's see how this goes. And I just started like
just like handing people the mic, and I was like, oh my god, I don't really need to sing this song very much anymore. So, you know, once we kind of saw how many people were like wanting to be a part of that, and like were willing to jump up and grab the mic, and like for anybody watching this, if you come to one of our shows, and or when you come to one of our shows, come on stage, come up with us. We're not gonna like, oh, you can't cut. No, like we're here for you, and you're here for us. Like, we want you to be a part of this.
Chill
of the
with
time.
me too.
Yes.
Don't be afraid to come up
Yes.
near me.
Yes.
I love it
Yeah.
when people
Yes.
come up.
We had
Yeah.
a friend
They
slash.
need to hear this. They need to hear this too, because
We had-
sometimes it's like I'm only gonna go up to where the vocalist is, but
Literally, like, come up right fucking next to me.
let's
Yes.
go.
Shout out
Give you
to
a
Mikey.
sticker.
Mikey, if you're watching this, we miss
Mikey.
you, Mikey. I know life is rough,
Where you
but Mikey, every show he would come to, he'd always come up to Dylan and fucking vibe with Dylan.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I thought you'd get annoyed or angry, like I was all up next to you while you're playing. I was like, no,
No.
I loved that shit. You were headbanging. I looked at you. I walked.
Yeah.
I was like, come on, man.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie though, we are kind of guilty of not having you a little bit.
Of what?
Yeah, you guys gotta work on the synchronization.
Yes. Yeah, we're working.
We're getting better at it.
Hey, the best thing about being a band is like we've said, we're always pushing each other. We're always trying to do better. You know.
We're always learning.
Yeah.
and
No.
getting better.
We want
Absolutely.
to be better so we can make better music so that you can enjoy your life better.
Yeah.
And that we are doing thanks to you. And we're also going, you know, we are also waking up with, you know, sore necks and stuff. But that's the whole point. I remember the first time we went to go see you, you were like, I think you said, I want y'all to mosh like you have the best health insurance ever. And I was like, let's fucking go.
I remember
I'm pretty sure 85% of these kids don't have. Oh, I guess they have their parents' health insurance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember I think I heard that call out from like I think it was like doom scrolling, and I saw it. I forgot who it was. And I remember when I heard that, the first thing I thought of was my old bands. We played a show, and there were a couple kids in that mosh that like went full like hardcore, like beat down. They were spin kicking, and somebody's collarbone got broken
Oh my God.
at that show, and immediately, and that was, well, and that's the thing, that was the first time we ever had something happen like this. First ever like bands like in that capacity that I was playing with, that was, you know, booking our own shows, and it was one of those where like, fuck, are we gonna get sued? Like, like we got real scared real fast. And I ended up meeting the guy later. He was like, no, dude, that was the proudest moment I've ever had in my life. I was like, oh, all right, dope.
How old was he?
Oh, fuck. He was probably like maybe 13 at the time.
The bones
Like, he
snap
was-
right back into place.
He,
after
yeah,
that.
yeah, no, he's fine now. He's
I was
totally
like,
fine
if he
now.
was like 35, he would have been like, suing you guys. This is,
But-
this is 6 months right here.
Right. But yeah, no, it was one of those where
That's
I was like,
crazy.
holy fuck, dude. Like, people are like, they're excited to, some people are excited to push themselves to be a part of something. And I think that's something that we always try to do, is we want to make sure people not only, you know, see this opportunity to help be a part of something, but, you know, we want them to want it too, you know. We don't want people to feel like, oh, like, I don't know if I want to do that, blah, blah, blah. Like, no, like, come be a part of this. Come be a part of the Ezoterik family, you know. Like we've said, we're as much in it as you are. And we want you to feel like that.
We know what it feels like to not belong somewhere or anything like that. And it feels good to belong somewhere, and everyone belongs here with us. So
There we go, man.
just know that.
We don't have exclusion. We don't believe in that.
Nope.
There we go. And you know, like your guys' band name, Ezoterik, it's like a niche group of people that know about something or have some common knowledge. And I feel like you guys kind of have that cool little like Modesto cult following. And I've like commented this on the images that people post of you, but I feel like you guys have like followers. Like I seen all those guys with bags on their heads. I didn't even get the memo, and I thought I was following the local scene closely, but there's something else going on. I won't get too much into that, but like I was like, wow.
If you want context, go watch our music video, Sleeping Giant.
We call them bad guys.
Sleeping Giant.
Bagmen. The Bagmen. I remember the first time you said that, my first thought was Bloodborne, the Bagmen of Yahargul. Just because I'm a nerd, but hey, that's just me though.
We
This
wouldn't be in
mu-
here if we weren't nerds.
Yeah.
This music video was just dropped about 3 weeks ago, and they just put their first song on all streaming platforms. So just once again, congratulations, guys, because these are big steps, especially here in the Central Valley, where you don't really see a lot of this like metal bands like kind of just like persevering through and releasing like such a dope music video, like Sleeping Giant particularly. It was just giving me all the classic horror movie vibes, very gorish, very extreme, and I was like, I love it. It's very dark.
We actually didn't spend a single penny on it.
Well, bro,
Well,
you might have known.
Hold on.
You don't have any pennies to spend, is what you meant to say.
You can say low budget.
Yeah, love
Yeah, yeah.
It didn't seem that way though. It seemed like a production.
So
That's Angel and Jay's magic.
Yeah, thanks to the editing.
They're editing.
So there's some
Yeah.
very talented women who helped us out with makeup,
Talented.
and we bought a watermelon.
3.
we brought 3 just in case.
Oh, yeah. 3 watermelons, and then some
Cornstarch.
pizza,
Yeah.
and that was literally it. And the rest was what we had and
Yeah.
made do.
No, genuinely though, big shout out to my homeboy Angel Torres. He is one of my guitarists for my other bands, and go check out his other band, Departure. His girlfriend Reese Tanner, who's another close friend of mine for years, and my girlfriend Bella Davis. They genuinely, I feel like, made the music video.
They carried.
They straight carried. They hard carried. We had a little bit of makeup, but we didn't have nearly what we wanted. And like I shit you not, Reese came with her entire kit. And like this isn't like she does her makeup. She's very picky about her makeup. So when I say she came with like some expensive shit, she came with some expensive shit.
Bro, like she brought a whole arsenal, bro.
She did.
And the talent behind like what they were doing to like us, like
it looked really good.
it was really good, like as if it really did feel like like special effects makeup on it, and it was really like they did great. Like,
My
And shout out to Shane and Alex for letting
Yeah.
us film
Yes,
that location
yeah.
for free.
Yeah. Well, that's your cousin, sister?
sister.
Yeah, dude. No, it was definitely where I remember when she first offered it like to us, and we went to go check it out. As you know, she had offered it to you know your other bands, and I remember I walked in and I was like, they've never used this. Like this is dope.
It's a dream come true.
Like
Yeah,
like we.
that helps so much.
Yeah, I was like, we have access to this, and like we can like what the like why. Oh my god! Like I remember
We're talking about the filming location.
The filming
of
location,
music
yeah.
Oh, the
video.
filming location. Okay.
Yeah.
I was still thinking about the makeup, and I was like,
Yeah.
I was thinking sometimes, going back to the makeup. Sometimes it's like you really need a woman's touch. You need
No,
the help of that
genuinely.
to like put it in your eye. 'Cause
feminine, huh?
the divine
Yeah.
feminine, yes. Not to say that women are the only ones. Like, there's a lot of men that can do makeup amazingly, but like, you
Dude,
know,
no,
it's just, you
I
need
will
that
shamelessly ask my girlfriend for makeup tips all the time. And she'll be like, okay, so you need to do this and this. And I'm like, I tried that. She goes, no, you didn't. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
all right, clearly I did it wrong.
And then lastly, for you, Jay, in regards to how you got into the genre, how did you start? I know you're the vocalist, but was there another instrument? Was there an instrument that got you into like heavy metal? And was there, for example, that song, music video, live concert that you went to that really kind of set things going?
So, for me, I started playing guitar when I was 7. I've always had heavier influences, from my cousin, like my dad and my family. My dad was a very big, 3 Days Grace, Three Doors Down, Slipknot, POD. Dude, I remember I was 7 and 8. I was singing every word to every Linkin Park song on Minutes to Midnight and Hybrid Theory. Like Linkin Park was my jam as a kid. So I've always had that like heavy influence. Like I hear you guys talk about like the one song that changed it. I never had it. I just kind of always like had a love for. Whenever I hear people talk about that, I don't know, but it almost weirds me out because I've never experienced that.
No,
but
for me it was Animal I Become, and that's what it's like my personal experience. So that's kind of why I ask people.
Yeah.
And since sometimes people have like that one experience, and then sometimes it's just like I was just kind of smoothly introduced into the genre and different
Yeah.
things here and there.
But I started playing guitar when I was 7, and it was because of Guitar Hero. I would play What I've Done on Guitar Hero World Tour,
I love that one.
like religiously. It was What I've Done and by Linkin Park and what was it? Misery Business.
Oh my God.
By Paramore. And I would do them on drums and on guitar, and I would do them on the easiest setting because I was dog shit. I was terrible.
Misery Business.
And I remember I go to my first guitar lesson because I had begged my mom. She signed up my sister and me for piano, and my sister took it a lot better than I did. But I wasn't doing the I couldn't pick what piece I learned. We were only picking classical pieces. The instructor I didn't really mesh with very well. And then I went on to guitar, and shout out to my old guitar teacher, if you ever see this, Tim Quinn. You're the G. I remember I sat down in his little practice room right before he moved to a better practice room, and I remember it was sketchy as shit. And I remember I sat down, and he's like, "All right, cool. Why'd you want to learn guitar?" And I was like, "Guitar Hero." And he was like, "This is nothing like Guitar Hero." And I was like, "I bet." And the thing that made me like, I think really like set it off and fall in love with music was when he just asked me, "What song do you want to learn?" Yeah. And I was like, "Oh, I can pick. I can just like learn a song." And he's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Really?" Like, I don't know why, like at the age of 7, that was so surprising to me. And then ever since, it just kind of took off, you know. I took lessons for about, 6 years, and learned every random this and that. I think the very first song I ever learned on the guitar was Grenade by Bruno Mars.
Wow.
Yeah.
Not expecting that.
Yeah. Really, and it was really just because he asked me for a list of 5 songs that I wanted to learn. And he was like, for your age and your skill, this is probably going to be the best. And I went, okay. Played guitar, did lessons for about 6 years. I stopped playing for 2 or 3 years after that, and then started back up, and then just kind of fell out of it. And when I was in high school, one of my buddies was like, "Hey, I'm trying to learn guitar. Do you play?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Can you teach me a little bit?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." Brought my guitar to school one day, showed him a couple chords, and then somebody there asked me, was like, "Hey, I know somebody who's trying to form a band," and ever since I've been playing in the bands essentially. I started with VMI. Shout out to Darren Morris and Valley Music Institute. That man I have known for a while, and he's just one of the most genuine people I've ever met. Really cool, really down to earth. Just wants to, help out his community. Damn.
All 3 of us, me, Tomas, and Jay, we were all 3 in VMI.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we all were under Darren's
Program.
his guide too. Yeah, he's a
Guidance.
great musician, great guy.
Darren showed me how to start working sound. I started working sound over at VMI, and it was literally because like he saw that I was kind of a quick learner on some things. And he's like, everybody I've tried to show how to work this board, this console, just like it goes right over their head. And I heard that, and I went, oh, I'll learn it. Like I took it as a challenge. And next thing I know, he was like, "Hey, do you want to work sound for this VMI show? Like I'll pay for it." And I was like, okay. And he's like, "Yeah, I got too many things that I gotta like run around for, and like you're the first, like one of the first people to like actually show like you can get it down." But yeah, I started playing with them, and then
Darren, thank you for bringing this heavy metal gem into fruition. We
planted
appreciate
those
you.
seeds for sure.
Yep.
Planted those
Planted the
seeds.
seed for so many other bands.
He
and
has.
people. Like I know so many other friends in the scene, like Brielle and Dylan Soto. Like they had their own bands back then, and like now they're in like what is it?
Aware
and Babylon AD, and like they
shout
have,
out to Aware, by
yeah,
the
you
way,
guys are-
also my homeboys.
Yep. And it's just like so many. It's crazy to think how much like someone can change like so many people's lives, and like how often that happens. Like you never know how much you could change on. How much you could influence people.
Yeah, just by helping build a community.
Yeah.
But I remember, so I started playing with that on guitar, and I remember the band that I was in. Another big influence of me growing up was Flyleaf.
Oh my god.
I think Flyleaf was one of my first
Lacey Sturm.
favorite bands, and it was mainly their self-titled album. I loved their self-titled album.
That's my mom's favorite album.
Yeah, it's a dope album, dude. And I remember hearing Lacey Sturm's screams for the first time, like when I started to like understand the meaning of some of those lyrics, and when I started to like the weight of the words being said really had value to it now. And I remember once that hit me and I heard those screams, I was like, wow, this isn't just like scream. Like this is power. This is emotion. This is heart. And I remember when I heard she came back as a solo artist for an album or two, Life Screams. That album, when that came out, I think I listened to that religiously for probably about 8 months straight. I have a signed poster from her tour, to specifically set out to Jay kind of thing. And
Have you seen them live?
I have not seen Flyleaf live.
She like sings and screams with her body. It's like a
Yeah,
she like
I've-
dances.
I've seen
almost.
videos. I've seen videos.
Twirl,
If
it's amazing.
if I could
Amazing.
see them live, I absolutely would.
And the scream is just
her
fascinating.
scream is so visceral and real,
Hmm.
and I think that's where I now that I think about it, I think I tend to draw a lot of my screams from too. Is that very primal, raw emotion kind of thing, and I remember my very first time trying to scream was at VMI, and it was my old band, our little student band. I think it was called like Reckless X or something. It was some anyway, but our vocalist that we had couldn't do the screams, and we had another guy on bass who kept saying that he was gonna do the screams. And then every time it was "I'm So Sick" by Flyleaf. That was the song. And every time that he would go to do the sack, he would like walk up to the mic and then he would like step back. And I remember our coach Dave. Shout out to Dave too. I remember I don't know where you are, man, but if again, homeboy, absolute homeboy. He helped me develop my frontman energy. Him specifically too. He was a big help. But I remember that guy kept going up to the mic and would go to scream and then wouldn't do it. And I had like a really stressful day at work that day. I was like one of my first jobs ever working like as an adult. I was working in IT, help desk, and somebody was like pissing me off, and I just like I was the intern. I couldn't really do anything about it, right? And here's the fourth practice in a row. We have a show in a week and a half, and he still didn't scream. So at that point, I was like, "Fuck this! I'm just
What
gonna."
do you mean he would go up to the mic and pretend he was gonna
So
scream?
he would like go to like kind of like build himself up, and he would go and the part would come, and he would
Like he got scared.
like he would just kind of do that. Like he would get nervous and then wouldn't scream. And I remember I was I was so annoyed with it. I was so frustrated, and I had just like the shittiest day at work, and I was like, "Fuck this!" And I just walked up to the other mic that happened to be there, and I just went at it. Turns out the mic wasn't even on, but I guess it was loud enough where our instructor Dave literally told everybody to stop what they were doing mid-song, and he just goes, "I need more of that. And he looked at the other guy. He goes, "I'm done with you. Like don't even bother anymore. Like don't even bother anymore." And he goes, "I'd like you are doing screams now." And I was
Holy
like,
shit.
"Oh, like he basically just told me this is your job now." And I was like, "Oh."
How old were you, Jay?
I was, I think 18. Like I was freshly 18.
Yeah.
And
I think I had Dave at this. He always wears a hat. He calls you Cat.
yeah, there's a little bit of an old head. Yeah.
Yeah, I was in a band with Eric
Yeah. No, he was.
Bloomfield. Yes.
Yeah, no, he was a dope guy. And then I remember when I ended up transitioning into another band, and I became the front man, or like even like my first time like performing on stage. He literally told me, he was like, "You have to have a personality on stage," you know. He told me, he was like, he's like, because I was wearing a hat all the time because it was hot.
Dave told you?
Yeah, Dave told me.
Dave, thank you.
Yeah, no, Dave, like
Darren and Dave?
Darren and Dave. Dave literally told me.
Shout out Dave Hawks.
Yeah. Dave goes, he's like, "Hey, I don't care what it is." He goes, "If you got to put on sunglasses inside, if you got to flip your hat backwards," he's like, "I don't care what it is." He goes, "Develop a personality, have character on stage. People eat that shit up." And I went, "Okay." And I just had like my Raiders cap that my dad gave me. Like I said my dad gave me. I took it from my dad. I flipped that shit backwards, and then we ran a song.
That's 209 as
Yeah. And then I flipped my hat backwards, and we ran the song, and he goes, "See, like you had more energy there." And I was like, "Fuck, wait, you're right." And then it just kind of became this slow transition, and over the next few years, now we're here, and now I'm just rage baiting people on stage, and it just kind of developed.
Jay, I have a question. When you I know this is going back, but it's a question that I have. But you said you brought your guitar to school. Like, did you get the ladies? Did you
God,
get any
no.
attention?
You got more guys than ladies.
You get more guys.
dude.
I
I
think that's
remember.
in
I
metal
remember-
too. Like, yeah.
Remember in eighth grade, I would sit. I would borrow the music teacher's like nicer guitar from the music room, the band room, and I would just kind of like sit by myself, and I just like jam like open chords, whatever. And I remember a bunch of my buddies, most of them were on the football team in middle school too. They would all huddle around me, and we'd be singing "I'm Yours" by Jason Mraz like a bunch of idiots, and it was all dudes. all dudes. And I remember their girlfriends, their little middle school girlfriends be sitting there like, oh, those guys again are sitting there singing "I'm Yours" like a bunch of fucking idiots. And we're just having the time of our lives. It was the stupidest thing. But yeah, no, I got a lot of more attention from guys than I did gals.
Beautiful. That's what I wanted to know. So you play guitar first. Did you ever want to be a guitarist for Ezoterik, or was that ever in the cards, or for any of your other bands?
So for some of my other bands, yeah, my other band, Dead to Rights, I ended up transitioning back onto guitar, and part of it was because my other guitarist, our director and editor for our music video, Angel, we were in a band together a while back, and we played guitar together before I jumped onto just vocals. And it had been so long that when we started writing songs for Dead, I kind of realized how much I missed playing guitar and writing with my buddy Angel. So I've been writing with him on that, but we kind of have guitars covered on this. I will say my guitar style is a little bit different from.
That's what makes it great, but a little bit.
Yeah, it's pretty different. When I play guitar, I go for a lot more of emo and grunge and the punk kind of vibes.
Is that the Dead to Rights?
That's Dead to Rights. Yeah, we have a handful of songs that we're working on right now that are actually really interesting. Very experimental. Honestly, you'd like.
I like what you guys do. Yeah.
You'd like some of them, but what is it? In terms of modern influences, though, to kind of go back on your original question, growing up, I had a lot of the influences that I mentioned, but recently it's been a lot of Static Dress. I am still a big fan of Static Dress. Loathe.
He's
Thornhill.
got their shirt on right now.
I have so much of their merch. It's
Show them
kind
the
of
back.
a problem.
Show them the back.
Oh, dude, the
It's
back
cool.
is dope.
Yeah, go up to the camera. Yeah, there we go. It's rad.
Injury episode out now. What is it? But Loathe is another big
Summoning
one.
The Static Dress.
Yeah. Loathe, Thornhill, and then
Eighth member.
the sixth member.
That's okay.
But I also have been finding a lot of inspiration for dynamics and intentional writing with a lot of our local bands. I'm really close friends with the guys in a local indie and punk band, E-Sex. They're really cool people. Carlos, Mario, and Xavier. Love those guys to death. They're dope. I tech for them too. Gio from Dreamer AM. He's a really cool guy.
Their shows go crazy.
Yeah, dude, their shows are dope.
Other 209 royalty right there.
Yeah.
But more
No,
on the punk scene.
They're more into the punk post-hardcore and shoegaze kind of. But really cool guys. I rebuilt Gio's guitar, and that was a really fun project. He has my very first professional grade pedal I ever built on his pedal board, and I let him borrow it, and he's like, "Can I please put this on my board for a while? Do you need this back?" And I was like, "Dog, I'm not really playing guitar much. You're good. You're good."
What pedal?
It was the Buttercream Boost from when I worked at Hatch. It's just a clean Fet Boost. And he put it on his board, and he's like, "Yeah, it has not left my board since I tried it." And I'm like, "Dude, that was 6 months ago." And he was like, "Is it okay if I get another 6 months?" I'm like, "Dude, take your time. I'm good. You're good, bro."
So Thomas, I've always got to ask, because I have wild delusional fantasies in my head sometimes of, oh, there she goes, and we're gonna get into the screen. I have fantasies of being a metal vocalist, although I really don't want to. I really don't want to, but when I'm drunk and in my room, I'm pretending to be Gerard Way. I'm pretending to be Jonathan Davis, Chino Moreno, Corey Taylor, and where do you practice that? Because
in my car.
You live in a house with other people, I would suppose, right? So
In my car.
in your car, okay.
In my
the
car.
In the car.
In my
This
car.
is what I've seen on Instagram. and stuff.
It's so funny. It's so funny because I drive a lot. I have family that's 45 minutes to an hour drive away that I visit regularly. I went to go see Static Dress in LA, a couple months ago because my sister goes to school over in Santa Barbara. So, you could only be just sitting there for 5 hours with nothing for so long, and I can't do that for even 5 minutes.
So screaming while actively driving.
Yeah. And it's really funny, dude. I think about people who see me on like on the road, and dude, I remember I got to work at one of my old jobs that one of my coworkers was like, hey, I have a very noticeable car too, by the way. So they're like, yeah, I saw your car, and I was like, that can't be him. And then I just saw the guy with long hair in there just looking like he was like about to throw out his voice, like he looked like pissed. And then I realized it was you, and I was like, yeah. And I was like, where'd you see me? They're like, oh, at this intersection. I go, oh, I know what song I was singing. I was singing Gifted Every Strength by Loathe. But yeah, I practice mainly in the car, and it's really funny because like, you know, I remember when I first started playing, I've always practiced in the car and at our practice spaces. I remember, you know, when I first started playing, my mom was telling me, she was like, hey, if you're doing vocals, like, you have to practice. Like, I don't hear you practicing. And I'm like, that's because you don't want to hear me practicing. Like, Ma, like, you don't like metal. You don't like loud. Like, I laugh too loud. And she's like, can you quiet down? Like...
Does she know what kind of vocals you're trying
Yeah.
to practice? Okay.
Yeah. And I remember when I first started, you know, she was like, hey, like, why aren't you practicing? And I'm like, I am, just in the car, because I know you don't like it. And then when she started seeing, like, you know, like, our progress and, like, me playing live and whatnot, she kind of just, like, let it be, and that was that.
Yeah.
But it was definitely funny at first, and I still scream in the car all the time.
Even when you're not practicing vocals.
Even
right?
when I'm not,
If
dude, I
someone
just
does,
put on a song that I like, and I just go crazy. I just go crazy.
You're tailgating someone, and it's just like, why? Are you
I try
tailgating
not to do that. My golden.
Someone's tailgating you.
Yeah.
There you
Yes.
go.
Yeah.
There we
My
go.
golden is I have a slightly you know newer car. It's a 2022, but I put on the lane assist, and then I put on the cruise control, and I hop on the freeway to like visit my family or like go to work or whatever, and I just go to town. I just go to town.
Yeah.
I just go crazy
So
at
you're
it.
getting spit all over the new car?
Um.
Because that's why I don't do it.
So I'll admit, I keep wipes in my car for my steering wheel. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen often, but when it does,
Did you say wet wipes?
It's already a little wet though.
But yeah, no, I'm a lot of times I just practice in my car. I remember there was a portion of time when I transitioned from like when I first started screaming to like when I got like the technique down. I still don't know what I do. I just know I can do it comfortably now. I spent about a month and a half just trying different registries, different, you know, sourcing it from different ways to apply grit and strain.
This is the other stuff I wanted to hear. Right?
Yeah.
Tell
Again,
us about the blood story.
yeah, so again, I don't know what I did. I don't know what I do. I just kind of do it. You know, I know tricks on like how to help. Never looked up a YouTube video. Never. I just kind of like, I just kind of go rah, and then people go woo, and I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
But when I was first like figuring out like where I could do it comfortably for long periods of time, like, you know, practicing 2-3 days a week and then having a show that Friday or whatever, you know, it was one of those where I like realized very quickly like I need to figure out somewhere where I can do this long term and like not suffer strain. And so for about a month and a half, when, you know, we didn't have my old band, when we didn't have shows or this or that, I just every time I was in the car, I would bump the volume like crazy, and I would pick a song that was just screams that like I wanted to like kind of like reference. A lot of the times it was a couple songs Slipknot, it was a few songs by Korn. It was a lot of Korn, actually. I'm gonna be honest with you. It was a lot of Korn. And I would just try different things, and it was not uncommon for me to like taste metal, and, you know, kind of have a little bit of red in my mouth, have a little bit of blood.
We love that.
And the moment that would happen, I'm like, all right, cool. We're taking a break for a day or two, so that way I can come right back to it. I swear,
At least you listen to your body.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It was one of those where like I knew I wanted to do this, so I wasn't gonna take too much of a chance, but still risking it, but not.
For real.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Bending.
Have your fingers ever bled?
Their
got
fingers
blisters,
have
dude.
bled. He asked
I got
if their
ugly ass
fingers
blisters that
have
last me, like,
bled
months.
while playing the bass and the guitar.
Yeah.
That's crazy work.
Yeah. No, it's
I
when
used to
you.
tape my fingers on our first few shows.
Yeah. When you first.
That is crazy work.
When you first fall in love with playing and an instrument and doing what you do, the extent that you will go pushing yourself is actually insane. Like I said, when I was practicing, when I was learning where to, I swear there was a portion of time where like I don't know if it was a fragment of my lung or like something, but I remember just like coughing up this like little like meaty piece of something, and I just went, that's not good. And I took like 4 days off instead that time, and
4 days
came
off.
right back to it, and
You
yeah,
really listen to your body.
yeah.
Good.
Well, it was I would get in the car and
telling you.
yeah, I would get in the car and I would go, all right, can we do a scream? No, all right, cool, we're not gonna do it today.
Interesting.
And I would just do that every day on my way to work until it was a morning scream check.
Yeah. This goes back to the consistency you were talking about before
yeah.
we set up the camera, but you're like, you just got to be consistent. It doesn't matter how many years. It's a
That is the biggest
consistency.
thing.
Yeah.
Doing it all the
Consistency.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Doing it all the
it's
time.
just consistency.
Patience.
Yeah.
Speaking of consistency, where did Dylan? Did he just cast Shadow Walk or something? Like,
He's right there.
He's chilling.
oh, I didn't.
The drummer has to take
be back.
breaks.
Yeah,
be back.
yeah. I think out of all of us, I think our drummer might be the most diva of us all. If he's not properly fed,
He's hungry all the time.
yeah. If he doesn't have a snack in him, he's trying to get through practice
Yeah.
to go get a snack.
As the heartbeat of the band, he has license.
That's why we play songs a little faster.
Yeah.
Me and the drummer actually bond through food, so
Really? What kind of food?
any.
Wow.
Yeah. No.
What's the
we'll
primary food?
We're
What's
never
the primary food coming to mind right now?
Chili's.
Chili's.
He's always
Oh,
thinking
dude.
about Chili's though.
Always
What plate?
wants-
What plate at
Chili's,
Chili's?
please sponsor us so we
What
can
plate
feed
at
this child.
Chili's?
Hey, yeah, hey, Chili's, if you want a sponsorship,
for a start.
and are okay with a metal bands, by all means.
Esoteric meal.
Yeah, you know Denny's.
There we
So
go. Wonderful.
The esoteric meal from Chili's, dude.
esoteric meal?
If
Yeah.
Denny's can do it,
Yeah.
Chili's can do
You
To
it.
be
gotta-
fair,
Nine
that went
legends.
a little bit more viral than we did, and by a little bit I mean a lot more.
Well, yeah, but Chili's could
Let's
be the
do
next
it
big
again.
thing.
Chili's could be the
Hey,
next.
Chili's, hop on this. Come on.
Chili's hot
Triple
fuego and
Have our people talk
flames.
to your people.
Yeah, yeah,
My people.
yeah.
My people don't get it.
We'll just call our parents over real
Yeah.
quick.
Yeah,
Let me ask
my
an
people,
adult.
our parents.
All
You gotta talk
right.
to a trusted adult.
Yeah.
So I do want to get into the creative process of things, but I feel like we got a good
Does
glimpse
feel like
into your journey into being a vocalist. Is there
Yeah.
anything else you'd like to share regarding being a vocalist and how you got there?
I think if there's one thing I want to add for whether it's vocals or guitar or anything, if there's a piece, this is more of I guess an advice piece I might want to give. If there's one thing I can say to anyone who wants to get into music of any capacity, whether it's running sound, being in a band, just being a part of just being a part of something, the biggest piece of advice I could probably give you was actually a piece of advice I heard from Sam Ogden of Static Dress, and that was, just don't be an ass. Just be a good person. Just come hang. Let's do something good and just be genuine. Like I've seen plenty of musicians who are of every single qualification, skill, and background, and I've found regularly the best thing is to just be good people.
Right.
Just
Yeah.
be good people.
And literally this expands to all disciplines in life.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I mean, what's the speech hand thing we do before every show?
Yeah, we
I
hype
mean,
each other up all the time.
yeah.
Yeah, we do this
Before-
like we do
whenever-
our
Before every show, we do a hype up.
yeah, we do like a go team, but we always pick something different. One of them was a SpongeBob reference. It was my drink, my diet, Dr. Kelp, and we all broke off and we played a great show that night.
Wow, that's what
But
made it happen.
at the end, or not at the end, before we do that, we always say, we are who we are, we do what we do. And, I mean, that's just the motto that we have as a band.
Hey, no,
And
say
you
the end.
do it
Say
well.
the end.
You forgot the
Say the
last
end.
piece.
I mean, we are who we are.
We're the
we do what
best
we
to
do
do it in
And if
town.
you don't like it, then you can fuck off. Because, I mean, that's the main thing.
Our big thing is we always just want to be genuine.
Yeah.
We're not here for like an image or for the like we're here because we want to be here and we want you to want to be here and we know who we are and we're not trying to hide that.
And the image, according to your last music video, is just people dying. So in order for us to stay here, no smashing hammers into people's heads. I think that was you.
That was
oh, that was a
Dylan.
watermelon.
That was
okay,
Dylan,
I thought it was Tomas. I was
Yeah.
like, fuck. How is
But
this dude still here?
and that's where I think like our creative process actually does that is a good segue is because our creative process is like we know like this is an art form, and for me at least I've always felt like yeah, we make music, but that doesn't mean that that's our only way of showing our art. I think of like when I used to grow up listening to like Rihanna and Sia and all these MTV music videos, and they looked dope. They looked so interesting. They had so much care and like world building and environments to them that just looked so cool. And I was like, fuck, dude, that's dope. Like, why aren't any bands that like are in the area going that far? Like most of what I see is like lip sync videos, and like like that's cool. Like it's low budget, it's easy, cool. But what about the art, man?
I really appreciate how much you're shouting out the pop girlies, Jay.
Hey, I know my roots. Hey, me and my girl will be blasting Black Eyed Peas to on our way to Canes religiously. Music is music, yeah. Yeah, no, Black Eyed, yeah, old Black Eyed Peas, the go. We were listening to yeah, I don't even remember where those. Yeah, no, we were bumping that shit last night, just going crazy, going down Oakdale on our way to Canes. But
I could go for some games.
I bet you could, yeah. Literally, food is always. Hey, if you ever want a favor from any of us, bring him food at the next show.
Food is the way to my heart.
Baskets of
Food is culture. Food is medicine.
comes in with a wagon. Here you are.
Somebody does
Specifically
the
fried
Canes catering to one of our shows. Hey, if you do that, I'm giving you free
That'd
shit.
be
I don't
awesome.
care. I don't care.
Definitely get a shirt and more.
Yeah.
All of it,
Yeah.
Everything.
So, guys, when it comes to writing a song, how does it happen? Does someone just like throw it out in the group chat?
Dylan.
Someone have a?
Dylan.
We're getting into the creative process. Let's summon him.
Honestly,
We lost
I think
him
he
for a
has a
few
good
minutes.
answer.
Dylan definitely probably has the best answer on this.
Wonderful. The
It's-
heartbeat of the band.
Yeah.
The biceps and the chest of the band as well. So, Dylan, I was asking, when it comes to writing a song, how does that process? How do you guys initiate that process? Do you just throw an idea in the DM? Do you guys just record something about a beat? Will you just be going ham with? I don't know how you do it with your legs and arms at the same time, but like, do you just throw something out in the DM? Does Jay say something and you're like, "Fuck no, I'm the heartbeat of the band"?
I do say that a lot. I will say.
Or like, how does it work? How does it work?
Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
It's pretty spontaneous and organic. If it's not all of us just like taking a huge projectile shit onto a wall and seeing what masterpiece comes out.
No, literally.
If it's
That
not
has happened
You gotta
many
be
times.
comfortable with sounding like
Amazing
shit
way
to
of
finally
describing
do
it.
something good. Yeah.
if it's not that, then Jimmy will send me like a recording, a scratch track of like a riff he came up with or something, and then I'll hear something in my head, a beat behind it or something if I like it, and then usually what happens is me and him will take that to the rest of the band because we kind of have that skeleton, a riff and a groove, and then that's when they start adding in their stuff and we start shaping it into a song. Sometimes it starts out with just parts, and then it's like, how do we take a part and make it into a song? So we don't have like a concrete process.
We just kind of vibe with it a lot of the time.
Jam it.
Yeah, so there's cons to that too, but
Yeah.
I think mostly it's a good thing because it really is truly just the brainchild of whatever all of our ADHD and just spamming fucking like they'll all play. All the guitarists will play at the same time, different shit when they're trying to like how do you
Find
do
it.
that? I want to play something, and then you guys all play at the same fucking time, so you can't hear anything, and it's just noise.
Yeah.
And then we're like,
Little
okay.
bit.
Yeah.
ADHD,
And
a
so-
little bit of
yeah, so-
autism in there, a
Yeah.
little bit of psychopathy in
Little bit of
there.
sugar.
It's
Blend
definitely
it all.
interesting because like we'll each be writing parts and like we'll go to stitch it together. I'm gonna be so honest with you. I am probably the pickiest.
He's
out
a
of-
little diva princess, so we
yeah,
have to.
yeah. When it comes to our writing, I'm very picky. My thing is I as much as I appreciate the foundations that a lot of your more mainstream influences tend to give, my one gripe is I don't want us to draw too much on that. I want to mix our influences, and I want it to be intentional. So the best way I describe it is we jam with intention. Yeah. We kind of just throw a bunch of spaghetti at the wall and see what hits, but we at least have a little bit of aim with it, I guess you could say.
And your process in it, Jay, as the vocalist and someone who's not an instrumentalist, well, sometimes you get on your guitar and just throw something out there, or
Sometimes, yeah.
Sometimes he gets on there and like plays like a melody on there to try and like figure out the phrasing or like where he wants to go with the notes. But he's really good at phrasing. He's like, I'm always like so impressed with him. Like sometimes or especially when we first started out as a band and we already had like at least two songs
Like 2
done.
songs.
Maybe 3, but we dropped 1 for sure. Yeah, and he just like comes in and like he's just experimenting, but his phrasing is always like really good, very interesting. I always like appreciate that about him. Like one of my favorite things about him. But
guys,
yeah, he keeps
guys,
getting better and more experimental.
I'm dumb. I don't know what phrasing means.
Phrasing
Can
is
you
like
kinda
So phrasing is like the essentially the rhythm of your vocals. So
okay.
for example, you can have like on a guitar, it can all be the same note, but it's like the strumming pattern, right? You have open like the chugs, like the dun 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 whatever, right?
Phrasing is the spacing.
Yeah. Phrasing
okay.
is like the pattern at
Where you
which your
space the notes
vocals.
of what you're doing.
Yeah.
okay, very cool.
So for example with like rap is a lot of faster phrasings. You have Billie Eilish and Sabrina where they have much longer drawn out phrasing kinds of
Sabrina?
things.
Did I hear Sabrina?
I did say Sabrina.
That's her.
But it's one of those where again, this is where as much as I appreciate the more mainstream influences, I try to not focus on those too much. The thing that I tend to get caught up with is then I start to focus on my more like niche influences a little bit too much, and then that's I think where some of my favorites have come out, where I'm trying to find a balance between the really niche stuff that like I know nobody knows, but I'm trying not to copy it, but then I'm also trying not to sound too much like this mainstream thing. So I kind of find this in between and I blend them, and a lot of the times though I try to pair it in a way with the instruments where it offsets.
Yeah.
If they're doing a rhythm and it's a certain pattern, I'll do it on the breaks in between the pattern, to help make sure that everything has room to breathe.
And then Lil Jon vetoes or passes it. I'm sorry, I know you told me not to call you Lil Jon. John vetoes or passes it. He presses the publish. He's like, "Let's go."
No, we
kidding.
all tend to
veto each other.
Yeah, we veto each other a lot.
That's what I was sensing. So you guys
Yeah.
kind of go back and
The interesting thing with when you're doing an experimental approach is like, if we're being so honest, we have a lot of shit. We have a lot of things that just don't sound good.
Mm-hmm.
We have a lot that just doesn't sound good. But that's kind of the process. Like, you have to be okay
You
with
gotta wean through it all.
Yeah. Like, and it's something that we learned, like, especially when we look at some of our favorite bands. Like, we think about how many songs they have that they've never released that weren't released for a reason, And that's something that we try to be aware of. When we aren't feeling something, we'll see how much we can make it work. And if it's something we're just really not feeling, then then we'll explore something else, and if we feel like we can come back to it, then we'll come back to it.
Very cool. Lyric writing. Who's doing that work?
Mainly Jay.
Mainly Jay.
Here and there we
Very cool.
give a little bit of input, but mainly it's Jay. Yeah.
He told me he couldn't write uplifting lyrics, so
It's all sad. It's all depressing.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, so much for the last 2 hours of what you talked about.
Another thing I want to add is that when we're writing together, the process of, okay, you got 2 guys who really like Pantera and Metallica and Avenged Sevenfold.
And then you got 2 guys that are really
Yeah, and then and then all of everything we do comes together, and it's so crazy how like oh hello I just saw legs.
Why are they up in the air?
But it's cool how like Jay's talking about how he's so into different stuff. We're all into different things, but you can tell when you go to a show and you listen to it, and you're like, oh, I hear all those things that they're talking about. Like, you can hear a heavy riff, but then it has this breakdown moments where it's more of like, a pop, hip hop kind of song, but it's the intention of that. It's not like that's what we want it to be.
Yeah.
You know, so it's really cool.
Another.
What do you want to add?
Can I add something?
Yeah.
The relationship between like the guitarists, like how we play guitar, is a little interesting, I must say. So, we hardly play the same thing. Like, it sounds, a lot of it, I usually do something different than him, and he usually does something different for me. It's quite interesting. It spices things up a lot, because like you're like, what is he doing? Oh wait, that's kind of cool. What is he doing? Oh, that's cool. Oh snap, they're coalescing. What is happening? And it's pretty cool. But it's, as he described it when we first started, it's kind of like a Guns N' Roses relationship. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. So
Very cool. Okay, awesome. Fascinating, guys. Thank you for providing your input. I'm curious now, after we talk about the creative process, kind of what's the future direction of your art? What is the future direction of the band? Is it to stay?
Come find out July 12th at our next show.
Come find out.
Hey,
Livingston, California. Livingston.
Hey,
if you
that's
didn't
where
hear
all
that
my
right.
family heralds from. Tiny, shitty little town. Yeah, Dylan's ready to go get something to eat.
I think really, like, you never really know, you know, you never really know where we're gonna be, but I think the thing we can do is just hope that it'll get better and bigger, and we have more people coming to the shows, and you know, they're having a good time, and we're all having a good time, and at the end of the day, that's really all we want, is that. So to say, oh, we want this and this, and we want it to be like this in the future, it's like, we like what it's like right now too, you know, like
it's unrealistic.
we always
do
want to
that.
cherish what this is and then build off from that.
Yeah.
So I like thinking in the moment of this is what we're doing, and it's super cool that we're doing any of this,
Yeah.
but it's also important to plan ahead.
Yeah.
But I think living in the moment is also a very important part of getting together with, it doesn't matter if it's 10 people or 100 people, it's still, or if it's in a garage or if it's at an actual venue, it's still a good time. And
Yeah.
you know, you never forget, like, oh, when we went to that show and those bands were there, like, it's ingrained in your brain, because a good show is a good show.
Yeah. You know, and you guys are still young, you know. I think you're just about a year old, right? You just turned a year old. So
yeah,
it's like,
barely.
you know, asking the future direction is like, honey, we just started. What are you talking about? But at the same time, like, I remember I was talking to you, Jay, about 2 weeks ago, and you're saying, I can't believe we're already at this stage of the band already, and it's just been like a year. So do you want to share with me kind of how it's been about like just your band, your guys' band, just kind of exploding out of nowhere, and within a year already kind of having like this local, like what I said, like a cult following and just dope ass shows. I kid you not, guys, every fucking single concert that I go to, the crowd, you can just sense there's an energy for Ezoterik. So it's special and it's cool to fucking see in person. But you want to just provide a little bit more insight into like your thoughts and feelings just being a year in now.
So I think for me, you know, being involved in a part of you know, like my old bands, we were a thing for I don't even know how many years. It was a hot minute, but you know, I never expected the amount of effort that I put into that band to pay off with a different band. You know, I split with that group. You know, we went our separate ways, you know, a while ago, and it was one of those where I learned so much about kind of the, you know, the scene, and like ultimately it kind of goes back into just, you know, don't be a dick kind of thing. I did not expect for, you know, kind of trusting the process, I guess, trusting the people and trusting myself with the art too and the intention behind things. I never expected that to work as much as it has. That was kind of with my old bands, that was kind of one of the issues that we had internally, was the direction on how we wanted to take things. And it was, you know, it was a constant issue. And I think with us, it was we had an idea and we agreed on it, and even when we didn't, we still tried. It was being okay with experimenting and, it's sometimes not working out, but just being open to it and honest about it, and biggest thing, honest to ourselves. And that kind of, I think, really helped us not just kind of grow, but I feel like people saw our how genuine we were. People could see how much we cared for this thing we were putting together, and I feel like it made people kind of care about it a bit more too. I think that genuinely is how much the community and how much our fans have supported us, I think is what really made us to what we are now.
Yeah, that is the biggest thing. Sorry.
Yeah.
Is all of the support of like all of our, not even just like the fans, which is a big thing, but even like people behind the scenes, like our family,
friends,
like
teams.
all of our families get super into it, and like anybody is, we can ask anybody and they'll be like, yeah, like we're there, or like even for the video, like with the video, like we had deadlines and we were like, we don't know if we're gonna be able to make it in time, but
we pushed ourselves.
but everybody like came together and we did it in like 2 weekends, 2 sessions. So that goes to show, like, if you really want to do it, a big part is wanting to do it, but also having the support to lift you up to do it. Because like with the band at all that really matters is the fans being able to have a good time and express themselves, and we wouldn't be able to go to and have these shows and do these shows without like the fans and people like you who really like care. And you obviously care because you wouldn't have helped us out with this and do this, and we really appreciate that too. So much is because you help us, and it builds you and it builds us, and people are seeing both of us, and it's just it's like a DNA strand of just combining everybody. Everybody lives
community.
up together.
One of my favorite quotes regarding
Like
that
DNA strand.
is one of my favorite quotes that very much goes off of that is, it's lonely at the top. I hear and I see so many bands who are like, oh, like we gotta be the best and this, and I'm like, dude, just make good things with good people.
Yeah, in the community.
Yeah. Like I do this, not really for like the glamour, like the this. I do it because I love it, and I do it because I love the people. Like I started, being a guitar tech because it was a skill that I found like I wanted to learn, and I felt like I could give back to the community that I felt like gave so much to me. And everybody helping uplift each other is very much like, I feel like what we stand for. And I think another thing to kind of circle back a little bit when it comes to like support, for anybody who's wanting to kind of, try their hand at things, support doesn't always mean, oh, hey, I have my cousin who works in like special effects, or I have, my sister who has access to a big property. Support can be, it could be coming to a show. Like
honestly.
Or even simple like, hey, keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like even one sentence gives you that
Yeah.
affirmation.
Our like for example, our special effects makeup people and Angel, it was literally where like Reese, my friend Reese, doesn't really do metal at all, but she just saw that we were so like, we wanted to do something more with it. She was like, I'm willing to give this a try. She hadn't done special effect makeup in like years, and she was like, I'll give this a try. And she was like, I have a bunch of makeup, I have a bunch of brushes, like I have stuff that I haven't used, it's old, but like let's see what we can do. Support doesn't have to be, oh, I know someone who does this like professionally, they have access. You don't need someone with access to the nicest or the greatest or the this or that. You just it's your friend. It's your friend who's down the street who whose mom has a fog machine from a Halloween party 10 years ago. Support is your homeboy who just wants a ride to whatever weekend event you have.
Yeah.
Support can be the smallest things. It's the people around you. It's always the people around you.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's something that we try really hard to make sure that not only do we know, but the people around us and the people who support us know. There's so much behind the scenes that a lot of people don't see. And it's not as big and glamorous as people might think or as it might seem. It's just us trying our best and just trying to push our own boundaries.
And what I wanted to add is like, I don't know what, like the question was like what we see in our future or like what's next and things like that. I just want to keep doing what we love. Like I don't care how far we go. I just like playing shows here with like and vibing with you all and just like having a party each time and just like seeing all my friends come out and support us like yeah and just transmit our energy to them even if they don't like our music. It's just like I always see like a smile on their face and I love that. It's just like we're all living this together. And yeah, like the new family I have with these guys, like it's beautiful and just like yeah.
That is so rad, man.
And
that.
just like yeah, like
metal is medicine. Metal is community.
Yeah.
Like I've met friends at your guys'
Exactly,
shows,
yeah.
like that are I'm gonna consider long-term friends now.
Yeah.
So it's just like it's cool. I do think metal is like in a sense mental health, like in bringing people
It
who
is.
are into this genre. It's like you're connecting with long lost siblings. It's a beautiful thing being at
Yeah.
your shows. I can just chop it up with anyone at your shows and just make new friends, and it's been a wonderful experience to be able to just go there and feel comfortable in a space of
Yeah.
other people who also just love this. And were you gonna say something else?
Yeah, I just wanted to like same thing you're saying. Like I met so many beautiful people thanks to this.
Yeah.
Like you and like so many other people I really do consider my friends. People who like yes from other bands, but also like just from people that come to every show. Like I met so many cool people like that, and like yeah, it's amazing.
Speaking of that, shout out to 24 Gore.
24 Gore, yeah,
Bro.
man, absolutely. They
Bro,
just released
yes,
their second
true.
single.
Adavan.
True.
Adavan as
Dude.
well.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie.
They're phenomenal.
The singers from 24 Gore, they're such good friends of ours.
The homies.
Bro,
Yeah,
actually,
the
they come
homies.
out to like every show.
Wow.
They live far away too.
Yeah,
It's
they're
crazy.
like
Yeah.
Sac,
I think.
Yeah, they're far away, and they come to every show. They come and support, and
Well,
like
but they also work in the Bay Area,
Oh.
so like
Yeah.
they make sure they put in the effort to come out.
Yeah,
but,
dude,
like, it just goes to
community
show-
supporting community, and like you guys too. Like you guys have great fucking bands too, and Adavan included. Like amazing. I love it when JT comes on stage with you and you guys do the Deftones covers. Like that shit elevates like everything when you guys get up on stage. And it's a wonderful thing seeing that. And in closing, kind of I see that communal effort that you guys are putting in and wanting this to be like a communal experience of like, I remember you saying, Jay, I want you guys to take away from this like what we are taking away as well. This is an experience, this is a memory. I want you to have something to remember. Even if you guys can't afford like a merch item, like we'll work something out with you where you can remember this.
We try to do that too, especially
Yeah.
if someone's like, "Oh, I don't have enough money to buy a $25 shirt." Well, we'll give you some stickers, a CD, anything,
Yeah.
I've always been big on that. I remember when I was, first getting into music, I was broke. So my thinking is always, let's give people options so that way, and if push comes to shove, I'll like we will try to find a way to make it work. We want people to feel like they're a part of this.
Yeah.
We want people
really
to
are.
want it.
And you really get that when you have something
Yeah.
to hold, to feel, to like, I know whenever I go to I go to Aftershock or whatever, and like I buy a shirt, like this shirt isn't just a shirt, it's the experience of like going to this festival and meeting whoever, and I mean, or even like Coachella, anything like
Yeah. Sabrina Carpenter.
yeah, going to a Sabrina show, man, chilling.
And the thing, I think it's so important, especially here in the 209 and Modesto particularly, where people, I feel oftentimes feel so kind of left out of like the major things going on in like big cities. And obviously people hate on Modesto, like there's no tomorrow. And, I think especially for like the younger generation who get to experience you guys, like just kind of, present this metal and kind of form this community experience. I think it's special for them to like take these things back home with them and say, wow, look, there's actual shit going on in Modesto. It's very special and it's cool. And we freaking mosh pit yesterday night and we partied, and it's like, and I got to do it in my hometown. It was like a 10-minute drive from my house, and it's like metal's right here. It's in Modesto. It's in the 209. It's present. It's alive. And you guys are making that happen. So thank you guys for bringing the vibes and the heaviness and the passion and the fury and the the consistency and the practice and the headaches, because we know it's not easy. And like you were saying, like it's a lot of effort behind the scenes. Like yes, on stage that's just the finished product, but then there's all of
That's the
stuff.
30 minutes to an hour of the
Right.
whole 12-hour day,
Right.
or even months of effort. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, when we rise, and we are rising, it's lone.
When we ride.
When we rise, like Jay said, it is lonely at the top. So
But it's not lonely if you bring everybody else
exactly,
with you.
let's bring everybody else with
There we
us.
go. There
want
we go.
you guys to come with us.
Yeah.
We want this to be all of us.
Hop on, guys.
Let's go. Hop on the bus. We're going on a long trip.
Guys, this is what I'm saying. Metal is alive here in Modesto. I love to see our Ezoterik. I really appreciate Dylan. He was really hungry. He went off to go grab a bite. He's the heartbeat of the band, so he needs lots of calories, you know. So, guys, I I really appreciate this, and once again, it's a fucking honor to interview you guys, particularly because you guys are just like an insane band. You have this really dope sound, and it's just like, yeah, I kid you not, guys, these guys' fucking shows are so fucking fun. And there's something about when, you know, even like throughout the line, because usually lineups start around 5, but then around the time you guys come on 7, 8, and you just feel like the energy start to shift and more heads will pop in, and it's just so exciting. So thanks for bringing that energy into the 209. I hope this continues and it could inspire more people to also join bands and make bands and make art and come together. And you know, even if it's just people meeting each other at the shows, like I said, I've met people at your guys' shows. Like it's cool just to meet other long lost siblings you had never met before. It's really cool. So it's an amazing thing. So thank you guys also just for being my first interview. We was a little anxious, but we got through.
Hey,
you
it
know?
was great.
We got through.
It
It was
went
great.
really
The
well.
whole time.
Yeah,
really well.
It was really good.
It was a good time.
You honestly
It
feel
was
like
a good
great
time.
reporter and
Yeah.
conversationalist and everything. Like,
Definitely
honestly.
fluid throughout the whole
Yeah.
thing.
Thank you. So guys, any plugs, any future shows you like to let anyone know about, or
I just go to the show, man.
Check
any
out
future shows? There's Livingston on
Yeah,
the
Livingston,
July 13th,
July
12th, July 12th.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
gonna be a great time.
With
like
Ativan.
with Ativan.
It's gonna be so
That's
good.
gonna be fire and flames.
There'll be some cool surprises with them, and then like the lineup's
Ooh.
great. It's gonna be a great party, honestly. And then
That's the next show. So
Yeah.
that's
Yep.
on Sunday,
weeks from
July
now.
12th. In
Yeah.
2
Yeah,
weeks.
it's
2 weekends.
in about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
In two and a half weeks.
We have July 18th.
July 18th at Battle
Battle
of
the
the
bands in
Bands.
series.
So yeah,
Yeah.
that's an
It's like
all-day
Modesto
thing.
Series
Yeah,
border,
local
yeah.
shit
It's
here.
more
So
of an event type.
Yeah.
exciting,
Yeah.
man.
All day event. We don't know when we're playing. It's just gonna be picked on by the hat.
It's random, huh?
Random.
Oh, really?
So
Wow.
stay tuned on that day. We'll be able to post and let people know when we're playing. But honestly, show up for the whole event, like
Yeah.
because
There's a
every
lot of
band
cool
there,
people, yeah.
a lot of
Free
new
food,
bands,
drinks.
honestly, that they all look really sick, honestly.
Yeah. And a lot of bands from different
Yeah.
cities as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah,
So-
I saw that they had some bands that like I've seen that have been in Fresno for a while.
Yeah.
That like now they're coming up here a little bit.
Right.
Yeah, no, we got some cool events coming up. Just
Yes.
Yeah.
keep an eye out.
Anyone after that? Any other one after that?
Modstock.
Yeah,
think.
we are playing Modstock.
3 p.m.
3 p.m. At one of the. I don't know exactly if it's going to be labeled the same name or not. We'll be posting.
It'll be
the
updated.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it'll be updated. But yeah, we have a handful of shows.
Then August 1st, we might have, or I think we will have, a show in SF at Nick of the Woods. That'll be a cool time with
Oh,
All Waves. Yeah,
All
it'll be
Waves.
great.
It's gonna be our first Bay Area show.
Hell
actually.
yeah! And
So-
always, I just posted them on my Instagram
Yeah,
account
they're awesome.
yesterday, and they are phenomenal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
Shout out
exciting.
to David. Like
Yeah.
he's our light guy.
Yeah,
he's
our light
amazing.
guy.
He's amazing.
Yep.
On the bass and on the lights. Yeah.
Yeah. No, he's a homie. He's a homie.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, awesome. Thank you so much, Ezoterik. Follow Ezoterik 209 on Instagram,
Yep,
right?
yep.
Awesome.
And on
So-
YouTube, check out our video.
Yeah.
Yes,
get
check
those
out
More
Sleeping
things
Giant.
coming on there.
Stream it on Spotify or
Yeah.
Apple Music, guys. It is lit as fuck, guys. Thank you so much for this. All right.
Can I do the sign off?
Yeah, go for it.
We are Ezoterik from Modesto, California, and thank you for watching.
Fuck yeah. Let's go.